We're live. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Why am I delayed in the camera? I seem to be very delayed in the camera. Shout out to the people to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards and the school teachers, law enforcement personnel, field personnel, military personnel. Whatever it is you do for a living, shout out to you. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants for others as much as you want good for yourself. Let that go over your head. You're a good person. Shout out to you. Here we are on this beautiful Friday morning. Today is the 19th of June, 2026, and we're happy to be here. Happy Juneteenth as well, which we're going to talk about to everybody. And on days like these, we say, it's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up. Clap it up. I'm bugged out by the camera because my camera is showing me moving really slow and jittery. I don't know if anybody else is catching that. Also, I'm hoping that my sound is okay. So somebody please tell me if the sound okay. If we have a problem with the sound, I can see what I can do to fix it before it starts. Sound. Morning, Miss Golden Robin. Morning, S Diva. Morning, you're the finest. And big yourself. Some feedback. How my sound? Nobody now give me no feedback on my sound, boy. Okay, thank you, Wayne. I appreciate that. Now that make me feel like when you can't hear me, because I asked for a feedback on the sound about 3-4 times and got no response. All right. The sound is iffy. Mr. Brom Brom. The sound is iffy. I'm lagging when I move. I don't know what going on. Let me see something real quick. Let me try to do something real quick. It's not about visual effects. I got a camera. Let's see if we could do something real quick. Let me take it from 1080 and see better on 720 resolution. Or we're gonna lose our camera altogether. All right. Who said the sound iffy? Glitchy? Lulu Ridges? Is my sound glitchy? Devon Gordon, I appreciate you greatly for being a new member to the family. Sometimes it sounds good and sometimes it'll break up. As Diva says, oh, that sucks. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to come off of this completely and use a different camera, all right? The different camera might not look so good, but won't be sounding glitchy. Off this and switch to a different camera. It hopefully won't lose. I think we will. So let me do this real quick. Visual effects, camera. These things happen, you know. We'll try to work out the technicalities of it all. Let me see. It won't be such a pretty camera, but all right, we'll take that off. All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Talk, me a talk. Can you hear me now? Oh God. Yeah, fine.
Brother, no sound, brother.
Me know, man. Everybody on the screen I tell me that.
All right.
Yeah,
Right.
all right, so manners.
That's all right.
Can you hear me now? When you can't hear me now? If said my mic was muted, so me unmute the mic. Now me need some feedback. Can you hear me now? I said, can you hear me now like 7 times? Miss Goldie Robinson, it's a yes or no. Can you hear me now? 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 Everybody about out Shakira, Shakira, Shakira. Can you hear me now? The answer is yes, loud and clear. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. When I have to work through the little technicalities, no man over there about Shakira. Me and Shakira never born together, you know. Me and Shakira is not Siamese twins. If me can't work out something on my own and she's not around, you're supposed to can't help me. Or not about Shakira, Shakira. Like, all right, so we have some. Okay, and I'm moving. This is what I was looking for. Why you see me keep doing like this on the other camera? Because that's how I knew I was lagging. So me not lag no more. Me can talk now and do all the expressions and all these things now. All right, we're good now. We're good to go. And I figured it out on my own. Thank you. So here we are on this beautiful Friday morning, and we have some things to talk about. So let's go out loud and strong on this Friday. It's been a beautiful week. Regardless of what has happened, I don't know. Everybody have something that go on in their life. It's the freaking weekend, baby. Yeah. Some of us are gonna go out and party and do all kind of something, while some of us are not. Some of us are not. Now I took up donations this morning. I got a trip coming up next week. My daughter been asking for years to go to New York, right? So now that she just turned 12 years old, she kind of called me up last week and she was like, I'm ready to go to New York, Dad. She asked from she about 8, 7. 7, no, 8, no, 9, no, 10, no, 11, no. She just turned 12. So now that she's 12, I told her that we're going to go to New York next week. I tell her that last week, so we're going to go to New York next week. So she have this list of things she wants to do and places she wants to see. So we're going to be making a little travel and heading out. Now stop Shakira, Miss Goldie Robinson. You know, stop Shakira like we can't survive without Shakira. Funny enough, one of the topics on today's morning discussion is 5 reasons that you may regret marrying your spouse. And I got that from actually out of a Jamaica publication. I just found it very interesting. So I think I should bring it here and discuss it here. All right. 5 reasons that you may have regrets. If you're not married, you're not married. If you're in a relationship, that will still go a long way with you, because there's probably something here that you can learn or see or probably teach in hindsight, them kind of something there. Another thing we're going to be discussing this morning is AI is now threatening about 60,000 jobs in Jamaica. You know, say Jamaica is hard to find a job already, a good paying job anyways. Because I personally know people who have high qualifications and they ended up in call centers. I'm talking about University of the West Indies graduate with bachelor's degrees and so on and so forth, and them end up in a call center. So things can get pretty hairy, but now with the influx of and the rise of AI, things are getting even more stickier. We talked about this before, that it was coming. Well, it's here. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I just came across something that seems like there's going to be a war on China in Jamaica. In Jamaica. The person made no qualms about it. This is somebody who is going to be selected or has been selected or nominated by the President of the United States of America to represent them in Jamaica, and heading that way if they indeed get the election or elected. They'll be in Jamaica shortly. And at the top of their agenda is scamming, which they plan to tackle vigorously. And also, they plan to tackle China's influence in Jamaica vigorously. Me don't know what that means. I just look at it as war words, and there will be a war against China and China's influence in Jamaica on Jamaican soil. Kind of like everything is adding up, you know? Everything is adding up. Everything is adding up. The picture is getting bigger and clearer. It's coming into view now. It's coming into view now, so we can see clearly now. I can see clearly now. The rain is... We can see clearly now. Shout out to Jimmy Cliff. Juneteenth, let's start out with that. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the opening of the Obama Museum. Won't be too long about it, but I watched everything, so I found it pretty interesting. And, you know, along the lines of uniting and forming a front, a united front, so to speak, with our African-American brothers and sisters, we seek to educate ourselves. Because a whole heap we don't know where June 19th is, or Juneteenth is, rather. A lot of us from the Caribbean have no clue what Juneteenth is. All we know, sir, is that it's something that them celebrating in America, and that is all we know, right? So a little education goes a long way, and it breeds endearment, all right? So we're going to talk about Juneteenth first, just to educate some people on what Juneteenth is. So Juneteenth, let's start off there. Juneteenth is a blend of June and the 19th. That's why it's named Juneteenth. And today, so the 10,000 is for the war strength. Mr. Brown, we'll soon to that. We'll soon get to that. Juneteenth is a blend of June and teenth. Today is the 19th, Juneteenth, June 19th, Juneteenth. And it is a federal holiday as well, commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. It is celebrated annually on June 19th. Now, the reason why it is celebrated, particularly by African Americans and not necessarily internationally, or shouldn't say internationally, nationally, but it's not a white people something. So you might want to wonder, why are there black rodeos and black parties, predominantly black African Americans? Because it marks the day in 1865, on this day, when Union Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and he announced that more than 250,000 enslaved black people in that state were now free. Here's the thing. The United States of America had abolished slavery prior to this. They didn't know. So they were still on plantations and did not know slavery had been abolished. The news got to them late. So black people say, well, we can't celebrate your day because all of us wasn't free. It didn't get to our 250,000 plus brothers and sisters that were in Texas that were on plantations. So this monumental news now came a full 2.5 years, not weeks, not months, a full 2.5. Imagine slavery abolished 2.5 years ago and you still out there in them fields. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, master. I've been picking these cottons as fast as I can, sir. And you getting, I don't know if y'all ever seen a cotton field. Every time I go south and more south, well, we can't go no more south because actually Florida is as south as it gets. But y'all know what I mean, into deeper rural south, like, you know, the Louisiana, Alabamas, the Texas, the Mississippis, them kind of something there. When I go through those areas and I see the cotton fields, because them still have the cotton field, let me know. Is only machine, but the cotton in now is not people doing it anymore. But I could actually feel the spirit of the people who were there. It's eerie to actually drive through there when it's cotton season, like when cotton is blooming and stuff like that. I look for see some people come out with the crocus bag them and picking cotton, because it's just eerie. Anyone who's been through there, you know what I'm talking about. Now, this monumental news came a full 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln actually signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which was signed on January 1st of 1963. Them never get the news until not 1863, not 19, and they did not get the news until 1865. So that is the reason for Juneteenth. Now, because Texas was isolated and had few Union troops, slavery continued there unhindered until the end of the Civil War. That's the story they're going with. That's not the story, but that's the story they're going with. Okay? So when Granger read General Orders number 3 in Galveston, it effectively marked the total abolition of institutional slavery in the entire United States of America. You can't be up north and talking about America is free and my people are free when 250,000 plus of your people are down south still yet amassing. So the official day of the emancipation for African American people is today. It's June 19th, and that is the celebration of Juneteenth. Now that you know that, I hope you never forget that. All right. Today, they commemorate today with stuff like barbecue and, block parties, historical readings, neighborhoods coming together, these kind of things. They'll be having rodeo parties. They'll be having traditional foods and so on and so forth, like strawberry soda or hibiscus tea and these kind of things. Learning about this part of Black history will also give you a look into their resilience and the ongoing fight for civil and human rights, because it never stopped there. It's still going. But this is the day where it actually kicked off. So African Americans, they are very proud about this day, and they celebrate this day as if this is their 4th of July, right? All right. So now that we know that, we can be in unison with that community, and which we are a part of that community. I tell you what, that's why I don't really like the detractors, distraction, the people them who always seek to divide us, right? One thing I notice is this. When police pull me over, one time the crooked one them see us out in the streets, they don't know who we are. They don't know if you are African American or if you are from the Caribbean or if you are from mainland continent of Africa, and just see you and the whole of we look alike. So we could be from anywhere. So that has always stood out to me, right? And just by that alone, just by bloodline DNA relations, we are a part of that community, whether we like it or not. So we'll celebrate alongside them. Padan says, driving to Georgia and you will see cotton fields like crazy, especially a certain time of the year. And you will see the Confederate flag flying near the cotton field. It's an eerie thing. You see the Confederate flags flying near the cotton fields. For my people who tune in here, you live up north where y'all don't see these things, it still exists. It still exists. Even recruiting, they still have recruiting boards up. The last time I went that way was not too long ago, months ago, when I drove into Fort Benning, Georgia. And in a them back road there, I saw recruiting notes, big poster saying, join, talking about the KKK. Like, come and join the KKK Confederacy. We need you. Carry on a legacy, stand tall and strong, all kind of something like that. And no, there's no police that's taking it down. There's nobody that's pressuring them saying this is a terrorist organization or this is anything like that. And Lord knows the KKK has committed a long history, are known for a long history of terrorizing a certain set of people, but they still remain today. And they are still very much active today. It's crazy to see it. It's crazy to see it, but it's real. It gets so realist to the point where when I drive through these places, I just drive like it's normal now. Because there's nothing you can do. You see it, you know where you're at. You're in the United States of America. You're in rural South United States of America, and you see all these things still in place. It did it. All right. So happy Juneteenth to everybody. Isn't it Marie's birthday? Well, when Marie I already sang Marie's birthday, happy birthday to Marie yesterday. Karen noticed. You're late. It's not Marie's birthday today. Marie's birthday was yesterday. 2 days after Shakira's birthday. Shakira's birthday is on the 16th. Marie's birthday is on the 18th. All right. Another thing that I thought was pretty cool was we're getting to the cool stuff first. We're warming up. We're getting there. Another thing I thought was pretty cool was the opening of the Obama Museum. A lot of people are pissed off. A lot of people are mad. A lot of people are upset. I don't know if y'all saw the president calling the former president a son of a bitch. He claims that that's what Iran had called President Obama. But you know, and now I understand why the whole Michelle Obama is a man comment came out of that guy at that event they had on the White House lawn. Juneteenth was right around the corner. The opening of the museum was happening in a couple of days as well. Nobody was attending their event, but everybody attended the Obama's event. So now it makes sense to me where all that animosity was coming from. I didn't go to work today and they say it's a holiday, but they don't pay for it and I still take the day off, said Ferron. Good for you. Well, yes, today is a federal holiday. Juneteenth is recognized as a federal holiday. Now, when Donald Trump came into office, he had some gripes about Juneteenth and he wanted to get rid of Juneteenth. He actually wanted to get rid of Juneteenth. So, President Trump has not banned Juneteenth. A lot of people thought he banned it. He has not. He was trying to take steps to get rid of it. He has not banned it. He has not banned Juneteenth, and he does not have the unilateral legal authority to cancel any federal holiday, including Juneteenth, which made a federal holiday. Now, I believe Biden designated Juneteenth a federal holiday. So removing it from the official calendar would require an act of Congress. However, the Trump administration has taken specific administrative actions to scale back the impact of this holiday and its public recognition. They have actually put in work to scale back its public recognition and its impact. Isn't that crazy? So some of the things that I've done is the administration removed both Juneteenth and the Martin Luther King Jr. Day from the National Services list of free days, because usually on Juneteenth and Luther King Day, those were days where the nation, everybody included, would get to go in for free, where they could see certain things. He took that off of it. He instead, those free access days to the national parks on those days was replaced with June 14th, which coincides with, ironically, his own birthday and Flag Day. Flag Day, you see the flag, they celebrate the flag. This is when a lot of overzealous people tell you, kneel for the flag, and don't kneel for the flag, you stand for the flag, and real men stand for the flag, and all these other kind of stuff, right? Yeah, so, I mean, that was a deliberate thing. The man just don't like peace. He wants us to go back to those cotton fields. Yeah, the same cotton field that we're talking about. He wants us to go back to. And if he would have his way, I would think that we would be back there by tonight. Each one of us will be back there by tonight, singing Kumbaya, or I'll be working on the railroad all the live long day. Yo, We have some people to thank because we could have been born or came into circumstances that were like those. Lord knows I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And if I was to come back in the next lifetime, if I was to come back in the next lifetime and that's what's happening, I'm going to be making a quick exit, sir. I ain't going to it. I ain't going to be able to do it. Ain't going to be able to do it. More power to the ones who did it. They did it so we could do it on another level. Because if had they not survived it, you know, I'm conflicted in the feeling. I thought we should have all just walked off the earth in unison. They would have never had anything. But then again, you know, somebody had to say, nah, we's got to survive. We've got to make sure our bloodline survive because better days are coming. I just know it. I just know better days are coming. We's going to get there. We's going to make something of ourselves in this land. I don't care how long it takes, but we's going to get there. But we can't get there if we all die. Because I can't do it. I wouldn't have been a part of the ones who endured. I wouldn't have been a part of the ones who endured at all. I think I would have been a more like that Nat Turner spirit would have been strong in me. Yeah, because I would have took a whole lot out on my way out. That's that. I can't picture waking up every day and living like that. And knowing that there's a better way to live, but you can't do you just choose like this is how I'm gonna your whole life. All the things that happen to us, man, you seen a man just could take your wife and have his way with her and then give her back to you and she can't look on you like she's looking at you with shame in her eyes. Then the thing that he would do to you in front of her to make her know that you're not the man. And then they would put you together as a family and make you feel like you have a family because you got a wife, you got some kids, you on a plantation, but you still feel free in your mind. And then they just come and sweep away your kids. Be like, yeah, this one here, he going over to Master Jane, y'all. We selling him for $400. That's a strong little boy right there. You never see your son again. I was watching The Long Walk Home. What'd you say? I was watching A Long Walk Home. It's important to reminisce on, not reminisce, but it's important to speak about some of these things. There are a lot of people who either choose to shy away from or choose not to recall, not to remember. Sit on a walk today as an 80-year-old orange man with hate spewing out at everyone in. Oh man, I was watching The Long Walk Home yesterday. I was like, damn, through a lot. I've never watched The Long Walk Home. The Long Walk Home. Might be a good watch. It's important to know where you're coming from. You know, they have a saying, if you don't know where you're coming from, you don't know where you're going, or you won't know where you're going. They also have a saying that says history tends to repeat itself. So therefore, if you don't know what to look out for, you could easily find yourself back in one of those things that had happened before. Everybody looking at you like, this happened to y'all before. Why are you back in this again? Because you never cared to know about it, because you never thought it could possibly happen again. You know? Yeah, so happy Juneteenth, and let it be celebrated now that we know what the celebration is about, right? Watching the Obama Museum open, though, that's a whole nother other flex. That's a whole other flex. First of all, right, all the living former presidents were there. All living former presidents were in attendance. I was watching from the early beginning all the way through, and the place just, at first I was like, man, maybe nobody is going to show up. And then Mr. Like, they're playing music outside, and all these top tier A-lister celebrities are showing up, right? And they're performing too. And I'm like, yo, okay, this is going to be big. The crowd just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. All former presidents showed up. And the funny thing about it is, all the former presidents showed up. You had Bush, you had Clinton, all the former presidents showed up, and there was a sense of peace. There was a sense of unity. There was a sense of we don't always share the same views on everything, but it's still okay to be respectful towards each other and have some decency. That part, the decency part, you know. And of course, President Obama, Michelle Obama, when she said, Barack, you got to look at me, and he was like, nope, he said, nope, I'm not looking at you, I'm looking down here. I'm gonna look right down here, because she had that man choking up. You know, I cried with Michelle and Obama's speeches, which we could get them back. Wish we could get them back. America didn't even know what it had until, you know, things happen for a reason, man. And they say God works in mysterious ways. You know, I think that couple right there was so underrated because of who they are, of course. A black couple in the White House, the first ever. And then now that we're looking back, it was like, I think they were the best first lady and president the United States of America has ever had. People who didn't want to say it before are now being forced to say it. They're like, holy shit, you know, they are the best we ever had. No scandals, no cheating rumors, no sexual accusations of rape or molestation, no mix up in anything, no fraud, no nothing. Out the way. Top it all off. Both Ivy League educated, both the highest educated, the highest level of education, educated not only president, but first lady as well. Michelle Obama is the highest educated, the highest level of education, or the highest educated first lady that this country has ever had. The highest accomplished on her own without her husband's accomplishment to carry her that this country has ever had. And that's not even debatable. It is just factual. So that's crazy. And these are the things that we don't look at. We weren't really looking at all that stuff, especially when it was happening. They were playing back videos of when Barack Obama was president, right? And man, so many people were crying. Like, I'm talking about like white people were crying. You know, black people were going to cry. But so many white people were crying. And they're like, why are you crying? And one man was like, he couldn't even talk. He was just pointing like this at the screen. He was so choked up. And he was like, there was decency. There was decency. They cared about everybody equally. They were the perfect picture of what America actually should be. How did we get back here? Compare where we're at now to where we were then. It's a big contrast. Watching President Obama go about his business, watching how he was so like down to earth, watching the places he went. Half of the time he was trying to go there without security, without the people who the people who guard them. The Secret Service, he was trying to like lose them so he could get there. Michelle was trying to do the same thing too, but they were always on them because that's their responsibility. If anything should happen to the active first lady or the active president, it would be a big deal. So they were trying to make sure it didn't happen on their watch, but they were always trying to go places, sneak into a mom and pop restaurant, have breakfast real quick, get back out before the security, the social security, before the Secret Service was like, where are they at? And start, you know, creating a scene and stuff. Run up in the restaurant, block off everybody from around them. And President Obama is like, oh gosh, they found me. You know, man. just the way how he stopped to speak to people and knew that some people were in need, and knew that people were being, and actually cared or took the time to care. I saw one little girl, she ran and she hugged him because it was her story that inspired a speech that he was about to give. So he was like, "Oh, you're here. Come over here. Let me take this picture real quick. We got to get a good picture now." And they stood side by side in the picture, and then the paparazzi people, they took lots of pictures of them and stuff. And then they started a conversation with him and the little girl. The conversation is a sidebar conversation. It's not a main conversation. Main stuff is happening over here. This him over here, just having a sidebar conversation. He's like, "I want to make sure that you feel good about going out there. Don't be scared. The crowd's going to be really big, and a big crowd makes a lot of noise, but don't be scared, okay? And if you're scared, just look over here at me. I got you." And I'm like, man, where did all this go? Because that's what it's supposed to look like. That's what it's supposed to look like. The whole "Yes, we can" slogan is at the museum. For those of you who are wondering, Fox News took this and twisted it. Fox News was playing the museum opening in a small screen while they were broadcasting. And they were basically saying, look at this mess. They're upset. The liberals are upset. They're upset that the President Biden, not President Biden, but the guy who is in now, he's building, Mr. White House and building this, that, and the other. And he's doing it for the country. And they're upset about that. This Obama guy, he built himself a whole museum. And they like it. They're enjoying it. Isn't that selfish? I'm like, the first thing that came to my mind this morning was, that was my confirmation for the message I was feeling in my soul this morning, which is, stop trying to argue with people who have made up their minds that they will always misunderstand you, or they will always never try to understand you or get where you're coming from. Some people, everything you say out your mouth is something that's not worthy of being heard. So they will never agree with anything you say. And that's how the other side is. They have made up their minds to never try to even understand. It's okay. It has to do with them. We're going against it. That's it. And there are people like that in actual real life. And we waste so much time and energy trying to convince people, listen to me. I can have you see it my way. No, man. At some point, you got to realize that some people, they're not worth their energy. They're not worth their energy because they're never going to see it way. And that's on purpose. That's on purpose. Why don't they talk about the ballroom? That's what they were talking about. But they were justifying the ballroom and saying that the ballroom is for the nation, but the Obama museum is for himself. So he's a selfish guy. And I couldn't believe that's what I was hearing them say while it was playing in the background. I'm like, damn, these people never stop. And they are never going to stop. So a lot of times, I don't even pay attention to them. Just like how you should just stop paying attention to somebody who always makes up their mind to go against whatever it is that your ideas are, or whatever it is your point of view is. They will invalidate your point of view just to make theirs valid, when in truth and in fact, everybody has a point of view. We are all individual things differently, right? Right. So that's why if I'm talking to somebody on the phone that call in, you normally hear me say, yeah, you have a point, I never saw it that way. Now, I might disagree with you because I still don't see it like that could be my view, the view that you hold, but I respect the view that you hold. And now I get a look at another view from speaking to you, kind of thing. Respect somebody else's point of view. Validate somebody else's point of view. There's something wrong with somebody who always thinks that their point of view is the only valid point of view. So the museum actually represents the remarkable story of President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, America's first Black president and First Lady. Dynamic exhibits across 4 floors explore the promise of democracy and the work of the Obama presidency. Their challenges and their accomplishments are rooted in the stories of the people, of events and policies that influence them and that continue to shape their legacy. Did you know that they had student loans until the end of their presidency? I don't know why I said until the end of their pregnancy. They had student loans, debts to pay off until the end of their presidency. For those who are going for those higher degrees and you've made up your mind that you're going to go, you have to really believe in yourself, you know. Now, I talk about past bachelor's degree. For those who are going to pursue a PhD, etc., master's. There was one guy who is a anesthesiologist now. He's a doctor, anesthesiology, and he just finished residency. He's official now. Now he's about to go into where he's supervised. Because after you finish residency, you have to be supervised still for some time. I believe it's like a year or 2 years, right? But he's finished with residency and everything. That's way into his program. They asked him, do you have student loans? And he said, yes. How much is it? He said about $650,000. I'm like, damn. $650,000 worth of student loans. And if you don't know it, a student loan is the only bill that you can file bankruptcy in the United States of America. And that bankruptcy, Chapter 11, will protect your assets and wipe your debts clean, and you get to start over. The only thing is you can't buy anything until you build back your credit up and until the time period passes, which I believe is our 5 years or 10 years, something like that. But the option is there to do it. So you don't sink and die under debt and lose completely everything. But the one thing that you cannot write off is a student loan. You're going to have to pay that. You're going to have, so there's no saving you from it. This brother said $650,000 is his student loan. Don't every past president get a billion in their honor? They are a bunch of racist fools, and I don't waste my time, says Onika St. John. Yeah. Now, the thing about his field that he went into, he starts out at about $600,000 a year. That's his salary coming out, going into his field first as a anesthesiologist doctor. So he'll be able to pay it back. But you see what I'm saying? Where you have to believe in yourself. This is taking a gamble on yourself. This is like, yeah, I know the debt's piling up, but I'm going to make it back. And you study and you learn and you go through the rigorous training and all these things, knowing that you're going to make it out and you're going to go out into your field and you're going to be able to pay this money back in no time. You got to really believe in yourself. But the opportunity is there. You know what I mean? So I was impressed. It was a young brother. I was impressed that he was able to do that. I heard $650,000 in debt, and I was like, damn. But then when they said how much he stands to make annually starting out, I was like, oh, he'll pay that off in no time. He'll pay that off in no time. He'll be all right. So yeah, watching the museum and seeing all those people, I mean, everybody that is somebody showed up there. Everybody that is somebody showed up there, and that says a lot. That says a lot also. The one person that didn't show up there, as far as, you know, who that was, which that energy wasn't needed there. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, no one will. Walk in faith. Nans. Yes, Nans. If you don't believe in yourself, no one will. Walk in faith. And faith is supposed to be things that you just can't see, but you just know that they're there, or they're going to be there. And sometimes it's hard to walk in faith. Sometimes you just want to see stuff, and if you can't see it, you get nervous and you quit, and you start telling yourself stories in your head. You know, there's an obstacle in this lifetime is you. It's you, all in here. Yeah, I know that there are systemic things put in place to slow you down, and if you yield to them, they will stop you. There are obstacles that are put in your way. There are always people who are going against your grain, who are trying to stop you, whether they know it or not. You know, there's always adversity. But the biggest obstacle you will face in this lifetime is you and your mind. I don't know if you've ever been in a setting before where you start hearing voices in your. I've been in a setting before where I started hearing voices in my head saying stuff like, look around the room. There's nobody else here like you. You're not going to do good in this environment. You can't thrive in this environment. Don't you see they don't have anybody else here that looks like you? Ain't no black people here. Man, pack it up and go home. And you got to fight that. And you have to fight that. And you have to put on a face. And you have to put your shoulders square and stick your chest out. And you have to go in there with confidence, even though your mind is not confident. Your mind is telling you you don't belong in here. You know what I'm saying? You are your biggest obstacle. It's the same way why we procrastinate away our dreams and our visions for ourselves. Our mind, your mind said you can't do it. So you believe you can't do it, and then you don't do it. Your mind says it's too late to try it. So you pack it up and you say, well, I ain't going to do it. I guess I'm past that age right now. Your mind says it's going to be too expensive. Your mind says, why don't you go find something else to do? It's hard. Your mind says, that's your mind. So your biggest obstacle in this life will always be your mind. I was told this, whatever it is you're trying to do in life, please remember that obstacles are everywhere. But the thing about these obstacles is this, they're not put there to stop you. They're not put there to stop you. I don't know which one of y'all need to hear this morning. I feel like when we used to go to church with my grandmother, and then pastor used to say, and I'm preaching, he used to be like, I have a message for you this morning. And I don't know who this message is for, but you need to hear this message this morning. Well, here's one. The obstacles that are in your way right now for the things that you're trying to accomplish, they weren't put there to stop you. Those obstacles were placed there to weed out the people who didn't want that bad enough like you wanted it bad enough. And once you get past that, once you commit to it and tell yourself, these obstacles, they're just bumps in the road. I'm riding right over them. Or I'm going to get over it, under it, around it, or however. But don't let them stop you. Watch and see if you don't accomplish what it is that you set out to accomplish. But as soon as you start looking at them obstacles like stop signs, that's where you start to fail. That's where you start to fail. So stop looking at your obstacles like stop signs. I don't know what your obstacle is. Maybe somebody in here trying to buy a house, and you're thinking, Lord, I can't come up with the down payment. I can't come up with the this. I can't come up with the that. Maybe you're trying to start a brick and mortar business. Maybe you're trying to start something off the ground, but you keep doubting yourself. You keep telling yourself, you can't. You are your obstacle. You are your obstacle. Why are some easier to believe in superstition than in faith? I don't know. Because I guess faith is Lulu. That's a good one, you know. But faith is like asking somebody to walk blindly. That's faith. Faith is like, put on these glasses right here. When you put these glasses on, these are the kind of glasses you cannot see through. So your vision is now completely gone. Now walk out into traffic and have faith that you won't get hit. That's how faith is. You know what I mean? Especially when you talk about having faith in God. I was talking to my mom about this a while gone by, but I remember I said to my mom, I said, I'm not y'all kind of Christian. Because y'all pray a lot and then you worry a lot after you pray a lot. So it's like your worries cancel out your prayers to me. That's my observation. Like, why are you praying so much if you're going to worry right after you're done praying? That kind of tells me, say, you don't really believe in the God that you're praying to, right? Because if that's the case where I have to be so worried after I'm done praying, that God ain't powerful. I might as well go try to figure out how to get this done myself. Now, I'm going to put the work in, but if I don't think the God that I'm praying to is going to help me to see me through it, strengthen me somehow, move some obstacles out my way somehow while I'm actively putting in the work, then I'm not praying to that God. And if I'm praying, I'm not worrying. You know what I mean? People pray and then worry. What you worrying for if you're praying? If you're genuinely, earnestly praying and you're being a good person, your vessel is clean, why are you worried? Why are you that worried? I mean, it's normal to worry. So let's not act like worry just completely goes away. But the level of worry that I'm seeing in praying people, fasting, praying people, I was like, I got to get away from these people. Because it's always doomsday for them. You know, it's always everything is going to come to an end. It's doomsday. Everything is going to fail. I'm like, man, I can't be around you. Can't be around you because you're going to weaken me in my faith. When you ask somebody, Lulu said, why is it easier for people to believe in superstition than in faith? And I can't answer that. But I know that faith is hard because that's asking somebody to walk blindly that way, hoping you don't get hit or knowing you're not going to get hit. That's kind of hard to do because they give you the blindfold and you're like this, right? And they're like, you have faith, put it on. And you're like, but I don't really know if, and you put it on and you take 2 steps and then you take it back off. You know what? I ain't too sure if I'm superstition now. That's something different. Superstition is like folk tales. You know, my granny said, throw salt behind you before you go inside. Spin your roll so up in the while you're going to the house. Rolling calf down a country, make sure you're not outside too late. Them kind of something there. I guess they're more entertaining and we hold dear to them because they remind us of the people who introduced us to them. Kind of thing. I don't know. I'm always the only black woman. Charla is in the building. Charla, big up yourself. You're the finest says, I'm always the only black woman in the office. I know Ja has kept me safe even in the BS. You in Texas. You in Texas, honey. You in Texas, baby. Hey, in Texas, they love to call you in terms of endearment, boy. You would think you was with one of them. You pull up to a gas station. Hey, honey. How you doing this morning? You're like, honey? I wish I called me honey for. I pulled up to places in Texas where what man asked if we ever had y'all ever had Bodine or Bodine or whatever the name of that thing is. Me can't even pronounce the name. And I was like, no, we ain't never had that before. And he was like, oh no, y'all gotta come have some of this. They sell some good Bodine in there, or Bodine or Bodine, whatever the name is. I know I'm butchering it. And he was so insisting the whole time, cause one big tall white man, older man, looked like the type where probably dragged a few ninjas to a cotton tree before strung him up. That's just how I was seeing him. And I was like, he gonna take me back inside. It was me and Shakira. He was like, I'm thinking, this man gonna take me back inside, go buy with food. That food, there's something wrong with it. We're not eat it. But they're so nice, you get suspicious. Then again, that could be the danger part too. You know, they'll nice you to sleep and then you're missing. And then you're found a week later in the woods. Oh, you ain't got no ride, honey. Your car broke down. Come on, I'll give you a ride to the next gas station. And you were last seen heading down this path right here. I don't know. I'm always suspicious of them. Always. Nan says the present demand its pound of flesh. The question is, Will you bleed a little today to truly live tomorrow? Got to put that work in, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself and believe in the God that you believe in. I don't even tell people who to believe in as far as God goes. You believe in yourself, believe in the God you believe in, and you got to put that work in. Stop doubting yourself. The biggest obstacle will be your mind, your own mind. Your own mind. Because I served in the army and because of what I did when I was in the army, I can truly say that I've done stuff that I never thought that I could. There was no way possible that I was ever going to be able to physically able to do any of those things, mentally able to go through any of those things. And I did. And I didn't die. Might have came out a little messed up, but I didn't die. So yeah, you're resilient. You're tough. You're way tougher than you think you are. You're way tougher than you're willing to give yourself credit for. You'll get through it, but you got to commit to it. You got to commit to it, whatever it is that it is. Dorothy says, I believe it's the devil trying to plant doubts. See, and that's, for me, that's that religion thing. And the devil ain't in my head. For me to admit that the devil is trying to plant doubts is for me to admit or say to myself that the devil lives inside of me. Because how else can the devil get into my intuition and into my consciousness and into my mind? The devil ain't planting no doubts. That's you planting doubts. And then with religion, religious people always have this thing where if it happened and it's good, then God did it. If it happened and it didn't work in their favor, then that's the devil. You know what I mean? It didn't even have to be bad. It just didn't work in their favor. That's the devil. That's the devil trying to put obstacles in my way. No, the obstacles exist. They come with this task right here. The obstacles come with this particular task that you're trying to accomplish right here. Ain't no devil. In your mind, there's no devil. It's you. You, and you. Get behind me, Satan. I wish part Satan did that. Satan in front of you, like, get behind me, Satan. Boy, I grew up with some old people in my country that were, it's like my grandmother, when she starts shout out of nowhere, frighten the sanctity out of it. Like a bat flying at the house or something like that. The bat coming at the house is somebody coming here with that bat there. That is somebody. I'm telling you, say you can't come in here no more, and you have to go in the name of Jesus, hallelujah. And then she started, and you a little kid, you scared as hell. And then the bat dip and fly through the living room, so I can try and it lick up in the glass, them and everything, and you're thinking it's somebody for real, and the person that try get out, and your granny in there fight it with the spirit, and yeah, religion is a hell of a thing. It's a bat. Now that I'm grown, I know that the house used to have bat in the ceiling, and the bat them come out when evening time go down. I saw the bat them just roll out of the house, and you sit on the front veranda and just watch them go out. I say, how much bat in there? They just flying out, bat behind bat. One of them dropped down in the house. One of the bat them dropped down in the house. My granny now swear said is the spirit of somebody this who always a try visit. And she always a cast them out. And she always a stop them right out of veranda there so. But tonight them pass and come in the living room. And she have to go fight them in the name of Jesus. And scare the crap out of us as children. Yo. Who said yo? But tell you that you can't live in here. You can't come in here. You're frightened or rotted. So yeah, it's your mind. I told you all the story before about when Miss C, like my great grandmother, rocked the cloud round the kitchen. When you grow up country, you have like outside kitchen. We have outside kitchen, board kitchen downstairs where wood fire there. and stuff like that. And then we have one upstairs kitchen. The kitchen they used to be for when people come from foreign. They cook inside, upstairs. Now downstairs out the door, close to the banana piece, now we have wood fire kitchen downstairs. So me down there, and down there so we used to like boil water for bathe at night time. Cause we used to freeze water, cold water, and we used to boil some water for bathe. Warm up your water a little bit, cause country cold, especially certain time of the year. And I was misbehaving. And my grandmother did say something, and you know, I never work out to her accordingly. Anyway, she'll say, yeah, your great grandmother is not pleased, and these things are. I said, my great granny. I told you before that your mind is powerful, because after my grandmother tell me that, I wholeheartedly believe that she's there. So if you ask me to this day, SouFLo, you ever say, Duppy? I say, yes. Yeah, because your mind will make you believe to the point where you are absolutely sure that is what you saw. And to this day, me sure say that me see. She did have like one big white cloud, and it was like on a big spindle kind of something. And she never walk, she just float up from down at the family graveyard through the banana piece and come right up to the kitchen when we did that. You know, a board kitchen, so you can sit through, plus our board kitchen, they have a swing out window, and the swing out window face the graveyard. And this woman come and she just hook on the cloud on one piece of it something, and then she just start dry it round there. Dry it round like, you know when you're saran wrapping something? So she has saran wrap the kitchen with cloud now with meat in it. And I remember me feel like I couldn't breathe, like the air was getting cut off. I'm telling you how powerful your mind is. The air was getting cut off, and I'm in there like, little bit that did have to do with me being frightened and me being a little picnic still, but it also, I felt like the air was getting cut off. Grandma did say she's not pleased with my behavior, so she come to punish me. She got lock off my breath, and I got dead. She carry me go back down my grave with her. So she, and boy, by the time she wrap around the window part and move around the side of the kitchen, our big outside kitchen now, she come around the other side to come to the door now. I shot it out that door and up the hill, up at the house, we're gone. Yee! I'm like, the short of the great grandmother. Now, the thing about that is this. I don't know if they had described her to me, or I had overheard them describing her over the years. But when me tell my granny who me see, my grandmother said that is her, because that is exactly how she looked. Yeah. So to this day, me sure say she me see. That's your mind. That's the same way your mind is powerful enough to say, you can't make it. And if you believe it, you won't make it. You have to control your mind first in all things. You have to steady your mind first in all things. And then you'll be all right. But you have to control the mind. You can't say you believe in God, but don't listen to what he says. Yeah, Dorothy, that's true. You can't say you believe in God, but don't listen to what he says. But the question is, when was God speaking to you? So I was watching a documentary a few days ago, right? There was a great football player back in the day. Many of you might have remembered him, especially those who used to watch football. His name was Reggie White. I hadn't been into football in so long, even though my kids play football. I guess my knowledge of football is stuck at high school level, because that's what I'm picking them there. And I realized Reggie White had passed away a couple of years ago. But Reggie White left a whole lot of filming before he passed away. He didn't know he was going to die. His death was sudden. But he was documenting his journey. So while Reggie was in the NFL, you know, while young people sign a contract, millions of dollars, make it to the NFL, start flying private jets, partying, whatever, Reggie signed his multi-million-dollar contract and went to church, right? He's saved, he's sanctified, he's holy, he's walking in the light. Everything that happened, he used to say, God said, this is where I'm supposed to be. When he got transferred, he said, I spoke to God about this. And God said, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I'm all right with it. And I'm happy that I got sent here. We're about to win a championship because that's what God sent me here to do. And everything he used to say. And they in the documentary, they were playing all the videos back of the amount of times he publicly said, God said, God said, and God said, and God said, and God said. You know, remember, I know he didn't know he was going to die because he wasn't sick. He was healthy. From one day to the next, dead. Reggie started searching his own soul. And Reggie said, I got to get to know God for myself. And I'm realizing now after football that a lot of the things that I told people that God said to me, those weren't God. That was me saying those things to myself. That was me trying to give myself approval and saying, God said. And I'm worried. He said, I'm worried. I am worried because all I want is to be right with God, he said. And I'm concerned that I might have led a lot of people down the wrong path. God said when God never said. So I got to go search and find God for myself. God has never spoken to me. I spoke to me. Now, he was a Christian and he died a Christian man. He was admitting towards the end of his life that he did not know was going to end. He was admitting that all this God said, and I'm listening to the voice of the Lord and all that, that was just his head. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. Your mind is going to be your biggest obstacle. You're going to sit there and tell yourself, God said, and God never said nothing. Now you said that. God said, don't go over there. So no, you said don't go over there. God said you can do it because I heard his voice. No, that was you telling you can do it. You know, what does his voice sound like when God is talking to you? Because if I want God, we have the voice that's supposed to sound the same to everybody that he has ever spoken to. Religion is a hell of a thing. Remember, they said, if you don't want conflict, don't discuss religion, don't discuss politics, and don't discuss paychecks. Those three. Religion, politics, and paychecks, you're going to have problems, right? Because people are sensitive about that. And they want to know that whatever they've been telling themselves is exactly how they've been believing it to be that. You don't want anything to disrupt that. So I leave people with their thoughts. If you want to believe that that's God in your head talking to you, go ahead. If you want to believe that that's the devil telling you to do bad things when you're thinking of bad things, then go ahead. But I'm telling you that it's you. And that's just what I believe. Flo, you're on point with this message. And I think at a point in our lives, you have to talk to yourself to shoot down those negative thoughts, messages that try to discourage from attaining your dreams. Yes, Sonia, unstoppable. Kind of like athletes. You know, that's why they have sports psychology. If an athlete at a high caliber gets a serious injury, usually that athlete is never the same again. Say, for instance, right, the athlete has a serious knee injury on the right side. Your brain as a human being is designed to remember that trauma to that part of your body. And then your brain is trying to save you. So every time that athlete goes to lean right again like this, oh, there goes his right side, because he's moving cautious on the right side. And his brain is automatically correcting him, trying to protect the body. And he's like, oh, we can't move right. Because remember, you just broke the right knee. Stay on the left, stay on the left. When his profession requires him to be ambidextrous, good on right and left. And if he's not good on right and left, we're going to have to get rid of him because that's his weak spot. Everybody now knows he's only right, left hand strong because he had an injury on the right. So these people actually go to what we call shrinks. Sports psychology, they sit there with them and speak to them and teach them how to get into their own head and be strong in their own head to get past these things so they can get back to being. It's not just the physical part of physical therapy and getting it strong again and that getting the range of motion increased back to what it was before. That's the physical part of it. But then there's a mental part of it that they have to get past. And again, it's all in the head. It's not God. They don't tell you pray to God and it will just heal up and you can go run and jump to the right again and tackle on the right side again. You can pray all you want to pray. But you're going to have to do that physical therapy. And you're going to have to be strong in your mind to overcome it, to almost do the impossible, which is to forget that you were hit. To forget that you were hit. That's kind of like you in a courtroom and you hear somebody say, lawyers use this tactic all the time because I pay attention, right? When they will want to get a point across, or they will want to plant a seed in the jury, in the juror's mind, so they'll say something that they know they're not supposed to say. And then they'll say, okay, of course you're going to hear objection. And then they're going to say, okay, like, I'll retract that. Retract that statement, they say, and scratch that from the, the type up, whatever. Act as if it never happened. Well, how many of us can act as if it never happened? If right now, those of you who don't like cursing, hear me let out a big F-bomb. 60 seconds later, I'm saying, act as if it never happened. Let's carry on. You're not going to act as if it never happened. You're going to be like, damn, that was so unnecessary. Why SouFLo just cursed big F this out of nowhere? For what? That was so uncouth. That was just not okay. But it's already said, and it's already in your head, and you can't erase it. So yeah, all-time saying, believe kill and believe cure. Lulu, right? That's all. Believe kill and believe cure. That's why I leave people with them beliefs, because if you believe it, if me believe said that was my granny or my great granny that was wrapping me in the kitchen with the white cloud, then I believe it to the point where I actually saw her. Believe kill and believe cure. If you believe that your God can cure you, then you will be cured. If you believe that whatever you believe kill and believe cure. Yeah. FIFA Don says, I saw the first broken leg in the World Cup last night. Hopefully, he can recover and keep playing. So, yeah, you're on point again. I'm not watching the World Cup. I'm not watching the World Cup at all. I'm not watching the World Cup because, wait, hold on. FIFA Don, where's the World Cup being held? Where's the World Cup being held? As far as I know, the World Cup is supposed to be held in the US, right? And a lot of nations are barred from even entering the US. And a lot of them are going through a lot just to get in. Some people, their team members have been sent back while they get to come in. So it's in the US. Yeah, that's why I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it because of how they did all the other stuff leading up to it. And really and truly, I personally think everybody else should have been like, nah, move it to somewhere else. USA, Mexico, and Canada. So it's in multiple places. Because I was reading this morning and I saw a match between two teams that's happening in some place in Mexico. That's why I'm asking, where is it happening? So it's in multiple locations, right? USA, Mexico, and Canada. Said Banches. Banches, big up yourself. S-Diva said it's in MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. That's a one part at S-Diva. It's happening in multiple locations. I guess the final match, but me no know. I'm not trying to know either. I don't care about I don't care about it. Don't care about it, don't want to see it. All right. You're not watching either. I'm not watch it. It just leave a bad taste in my mouth. You know, if I was excited about it and then such man made it so that everybody was included and it was a time where we could take our mind off stuff for a minute and totally indulge, then I would do that. But it just feel like wrong. It just feel wrong. So I'm trying to protect my peace. I don't want to see it. Multiple places. Mervin, Wagwan, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. All right, final game will be played at MetLife. That's in New York. All right. Mervin out there on the road. BM says safe travels. Nan says the final game will be played at MetLife. That's in New York. And you're the finalist saying, no man, the way how they treated Haiti. Exactly. Exactly. And you know, nobody is allowed from Haiti to come to the United States of America. So even if you're a Haitian, we have money and you can say, yo, they're right next door. I could fly over and go see our team, you know, and fly right back. You're not allowed. You're not allowed. So yeah, that's not for me. And let me see, they play in multiple cities in the USA, also Atlanta, Jersey, LA. Good Lord. I'm not trying to keep up with all of that. That's a bit. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
SouFLo, big up yourself.
Man, is not respect, bro. What go on?
Come like 10 years now, I'm not trying to show.
Sorted.
I should just go to school to
You're good though.
Yeah, man. English, live life by the time.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, for SouFLo, the unfortunate thing with this event we are keeping up because it's so much sports. So, well, normally that's somewhere you unite the way, pass the word for a moment, and everybody kind of put them differences aside and come together and support them respective teams, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I like
that. When you have these sports that nowadays, you don't like that about just divide and conquer, isn't it?
Yeah, the mindset there.
Yeah, but we're living where normally fans struggle to support them teams or the country. And here said, this a country get one, them can get visa, this other country. You know, even the unfortunate event with the referee recently, I never see that one day.
Yes, man, the Ethiopian referee.
Some other.
I think, yeah, well, he's Ethiopian by nationality, okay. but yeah, he's actually a world-class referee. So he traveled the world officiating other games, yeah. And he was selected by FIFA to host to be one of their official referees on this continent here. So yeah, so the way how them do him, I talk about he was communicating with people who they call unsavory characters and yeah, and him. All that.
But you know, so one thing I realize it's always the government of any country when certain things happen because I keep up with the work of I watch some videos, right? Just like interaction with fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you have the Scottish people come over, you have the Norwegian people come over, and you see the American people interact with them. And you know, obviously you have the subsets of people still hate people for whatever reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in America, like a lot of the fans will still go to these games. They're very welcoming of other people from different countries. They get me and say, as we say, you have other people with, you know, them have the reasons why they dislike people. But for the most part, it's like if you go to Jamaica SouFLo, the government have them own mindset compared to the average Jamaican. You get me and say the average Jamaican is still going to be welcoming to everybody that comes to Jamaica. So I say,
right.
White, not Chinese.
Kind of like our relationship with Trinidad. Where I said,
exactly.
Yeah, I said that Trini don't like Jamaica and Jamaica don't like Trini. Something that is on a political level with them people there in a suit and tie. Because every Trini I've been around and every circle me go which part Caribbean people are, the Trini people them that I know, they get along good with Jamaicans and the Jamaicans and then when me know get along good with the Trini them. So yeah, I understand the concept where I said.
Yeah, so you know the people them interact well and stuff. But as we say, it's just the government with all them politics cloud. a lot of these things that make it leave a bad taste in other people's mouth in a sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just really unfortunate still, to be honest, to see what is going on with these culture events are supposed to kind of unite people in a sense, and
Because usually that's what it would do.
Yeah, and it's so much hypocrisy so flow because when it was held in Qatar, before it even kick off in Qatar, they bash them, say them are Muslim and them are this and that and God knows what. And a lot of people actually say one of the best work of them ever go.
I saw.
It was cheaper, safer, transportation was good, the games were good. It's what I'm saying, but them say, oh, people will steal them and then dead off in the slave, whatever. Which now I'm gonna get into that, But if you look at it across the whole scale of these events, it's a lot of bad things that happen. So as much as we can point out one country in Qatar for the bad what they do, a lot of countries also have bad social. So what we call a speed for that. As in, we can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but big up yourselves.
Man of that respect, my brother.
Yeah.
All right, sir. All life.
Who, me?
Yeah, all life. Got a long time when you're from, you know. All is well.
Yeah, man, that one, let's take it easy. Yo, let me tell the people this. People, so now we're gonna take it slow. You don't say something that works so slow, you see me? And you pick up an injury. Now I work, and them call me for do something. And say, when them call me, my mind, I say, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm here, somebody answer the walkie-talkie and say, I'm gonna do it, but they're gonna take a couple minutes. I'm saying to myself, say, I'm not gonna do it. Anyway, I proceed for it, do what I'm supposed to do. Up and doing it and leaving that specific area, there was something on my hand, isn't it? And you say, right, when your hand like lower to the nerve there, or blood vessel, right before that, there's something poke me, you see me? Right before that blood vessel there. Fortunately, it wasn't lower because it would have probably been a bit more detrimental, you see me I say?
Yeah.
And with that bleed out and whatever, but then they patch me up on whatever the case is. So I'm just gonna tell people them say, yo, sometimes on my work, we just have to be a bit more slow, because at the end of the day, we want to reach back home safe. It's necessary. It's just a learning lesson for me still,
All right, my
So
brother.
right now, I just have to take it easy.
Go on, take it easy.
Yeah, man. Bless you.
Man of respect. All right. Yeah, Mervin. He is growing up on this channel. Junior Copeland said the two of them are criminals. Charge being highly educated and black plus high moral character. Big up Michelle and Barack. I'll go on Jamaica, will remember that. It's a crime. It's a crime for them to be all that. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah, so the whole thing that I was looking forward to it, but then all this stuff started happening, and usually that is an event where people can put me a Jamaican. So obviously, the thing about us Jamaican is when it comes to football, which we learn to call soccer over here, because in soccer we call it a yard of football. That I wish part most I would think that if it's happening, we're gonna tune in, especially on this level. But the money comes spoil up the thing to a point where I don't even want to see any of it. And then, somebody said earlier in the comment section, there's a lot of racism in it as far as how people are being dealt with, who's let in versus who goes under extra scrutiny, and whose team is being broken up because some of the players can't make it in and have to be sent back and all other kind of something like that. Sabotage. I just feel like everybody should have revolted or said, I'm not going to support it this year because that. But it's going on. And it's still a big deal to a lot of people. I'm just not into it. Let's talk about let's keep it friendly, funny, and interesting. Let's talk about the 5 reasons that you may regret marrying your spouse. Now I came across this morning and I read through it and I thought, wow, this is interesting that I want to share with the audience, right? So keeping it light. All the time we are talking about people dead on politics and all these things. So keeping it a little light. This is kind of like if I knew then. 5 reasons you may regret marrying your spouse. I don't know who is in here who is married and divorced. who can share in the comment section or in a phone call some of the reasons why, or the cornerstone reasons why you ended up having to divorce or having regrets. Some of them married right now are regretting it. You're not divorced yet. You're just regretting marrying. So you're still there. You're still there holding on by a hair. What are some of the reasons? Nans put their eye upon this. I promise it's not me. Nans put their eyes upon the screen. There she goes. The ticket price is outrageous, Banches says, for the World Cup. We'll move on past that World Cup something there. They can't keep them ticket and everything else. Let's make an honest conversation. Nan said, me nah left, yo, baby. Let's have an honest conversation. You enjoy the big celebration. You enjoy the beautiful wedding dress and all these things and the fairy tale wedding with all the thoughts of you're going to ride off into the sunset and it's going to be peaches and cream forever. You found your knight in shining armor, or if you're a man, you found your Cinderella and the slipper fit. 6 months in, you start to question whether you married the right person or not. Sounds strange? I mean, 6 months might be a bit too kind of early, but I have seen where 6 months was about the time people start to have regrets, right? It's not strange. It says that more couples than we care to admit have been in that situation, questioning themselves about whether they made the right choice. This particular person. A comprehensive legacy poll by the Today Show found out that 57% of married women admitted to occasionally looking at their spouse and regretting regretting marrying this man, like looking at their spouse and regretting that this is who they have as a husband. And 72% have considered leaving at some point in the relationship. 57%, according to the Today Show poll. 57% of women, it says, look at their husband at some point and think, damn, why marry him? And then 72% have thought of leaving at some point. See, marriage is one of the most beautiful decisions, right? It says that a woman can make. It's actually one of the most beautiful decisions that anybody can make, really. But it can also become one of the most painful when you're entered into it without knowing exactly why you are marrying this person and who this is that you're marrying. Regret in marriage does not always come from dramatic betrayals and oh, he cheated and these kind of things that are obvious dysfunctions. Sometimes it just grows quietly. You know that silent resentment there? Silent resentment, by the way, we've talked about this before. Silent resentment is probably the biggest killer of unions. Silent resentment. One of the biggest killers of unions. Silent resentment creeps up into a relationship when you're with somebody who you and them can't work nothing out together. Y'all are never on the same page, you know? So even when you are having good days, it's like you're pretending to have good days because there's so much stuff here that we just can't see eye to eye on or come to a common ground on. Then silent resentment start to creep in. You know what I'm saying? Now, BM says, then why marry in the first place? Well, you know, them have a saying where says, see me and come live with me are two different something and all these things. So there are certain things that marriage will bring out of you. I heard one, she's a marriage counselor, but me not go to them a kind of marriage counselor, but she's on YouTube or Instagram, and she said marriage will bring out the best and the worst in you, and that's what it is. It's that it will bring out the best and the worst in you. You haven't been tested until you've been married and you're in a marriage and the marriage goes bad. So marriage is one of those beautiful decisions, yeah, for everybody, but it comes with a lot. Regrets in marriage, they don't always come from all these dramatic things. It's that silent creeper that grows quietly through misalignment, through unspoken expectations, and through realities that reveal themselves over time. These are the things. Many do not regret marriage itself. This was geared towards women, so I'm going to use it in general. Many do not regret our marriage itself. Except many women do not regret marriage itself. They regret who they married, and more importantly, why they married that person. Let's unpack this with honesty, because many couples are reading about themselves in this article, or many people who are in a relationship right now. It doesn't even have to be marriage. It could be a committed relationship. We come from Jamaica, our Caribbean world, where in Caribbean world, we have something that is called common law marriage or common law spouse. So it can be one of those. You and your significant other have been together for quite some time, and you are sharing the same space, then, so to speak. That is all that is needed to say that you are somebody's spouse. Actually, you're married, right? So I never usually be the cheaters. Sonia Unstoppable. Those are the big stuff. Someone take Bansh's phone. All the stress come after the marriage. BM says all the stress. Why does all the stress come after the marriage? I've seen this, you know. I've seen people be the best of friends, right? For years. Them good for years. Them party together, them go out all the time. They're very social. Them from all we can tell from the outside, couples goals. I want to be like them. Why them love each other? Lord, so them always have one. So they're the couple that make you say, go get a room somewhere, right? Kind of thing. And then all them do are go get married. And you would have thought they would make a dope couple, because they always doing all this other stuff. As soon as them sign the paper and say the I do, fling 2 rice grain back at them and throw up the bouquet or something there, walk down the aisle and gone in a one limousine. You know how the wedding them go already. Gone in a limousine, go consummate the marriage and the after party and all these things. Once that ceremony is done, it's like a crossover into hell. They're no longer affectionate towards each other. You no longer see that PDA, public display of affection. They no longer coo and ooh after each other anymore. You know, them completely change. And it's just from being married. Just from being married. Them did good before or not. And I've heard people say this also. We were best of friends before we got married. I see people also divorce and go back to being good friends without the marriage aspect of it in there. So it's something about marriage. Now, it says that many, they don't regret, they just regret who they married to, and more importantly, the reasons why they actually married them. So let's unpack all of this with honesty. Let's start out with the first one. You married potential instead of reality. That one's funny. You married potential instead of reality. You know, if you're gonna get married, right? You want to marry reality, not potential. So this is one of the most common types, they say. You saw who the person could have become. You heard their dreams, their aspirations, their intentions, the good heart part of the person. But you ignored who the person consistently was, who they consistently showed you. You look beyond that. You're looking at their potential. Now, in here, it's talking about how a man can be ambitious, but never do what he needs to do to achieve his dreams. That goes for anybody, right? A woman can be, or man can be super ambitious, and they can sound good when they talk about the things we're going to do, couples goals and power couple, and we're going to move mountains together and all this. And you go in there thinking, yes, I've got one. This are me and this person. No, understand the concept of theme and the concept of supporting each other and the concept of building together. Oh, we're going to conquer the world. It sounds good. Then you find out, say, that sound good talking. So good. They sold ice to an Eskimo. Marriage does not transform potential into performance. That is something to remember. It will show up patterns, because now that you are around that person every day, you will start to notice things that you did not notice before. If the person was inconsistent before, they will most likely be inconsistent after you marry them. And if the person lacks discipline from before, marriage will not suddenly produce discipline or a disciplined mindset. You can have hope, but hope will not change a person, and hope will not produce results. Consistent action and discipline does. The next one on the list, so the first one is you're probably married for potential and not reality. I don't know why I hear potential kid song a playing on my head. Ah, you're so nice. Anyway, the second one was you ignored all the red flags because you wanted it to work so badly. You just ignore all of the big red flag them did a wave in your face like banner. You just box them or you just ignore all of them. You know? You're not the only one who saw warning signs and still got married to somebody. So many people do the same thing. You saw the temper before, you downplayed it. You saw the disrespect before, you downplayed it. You saw the emotional distancing before and that kind of a behavior, you downplayed it. Oh, that's just them. They just like their time alone. You know, you saw the lack of accountability, you downplayed it. But instead of addressing it, you started to rationalize them to yourself. When your partner or family pointed it out to you, you said, well, you know, we all have our flaws, and I'm hoping that somebody loves me with all my flaws too. That's what you said, right? You know, at some point we grow out of these things anyways. It's not that bad. But the red flags, they do not disappear when you get married. In fact, they often become more pronounced under pressure. Here's the truth. What you ignore during your dating phase or getting to know a person phase, you will manage in marriage to not be able to ignore. It's going to be right in your face now. And now you're really going to have to face that. Can I really live with this? Can I really live with this? The next one is, this is the third of 5. The third one is, you were more in love with the idea of marriage than you actually were with that person. Yeah, some people are like that. You're more in love with the idea of marriage. It feels good to go around saying, I'm not just sleeping with somebody. This is not just a next sex partner that I'm propping up and saying, this is my boyfriend, or this is my girlfriend, or the big word, this is my fiance. You know, you actually can say, I'm a married man or I'm a married woman. But the thing is, you might be more in love with the idea of marriage than you are in love with the person that you're about to go marry. See, society celebrates weddings big. They put it as milestones that need to be passed. Timelines, it needs to be done by a certain time. And that is real pressure. That is real pressure, both on men and on women, to get married. Spoken and unspoken pressure. You know, if you grow up with people like all my grandparents now, so when you're gonna get married and start a family, you know, settle down. When you're gonna settle down, Lord, sir, Miss Ruby used to say, remember, you know, Rolling Stone gather no mass. That means that you can't build foundation running up and down all over the place. You get a wife, you get a house, a steady abode, and you root. Pressure. Not to be left behind. Pressure. To make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And then there's the truth that you quietly learn later. A wedding is one day. Marriage, that's a lifetime. So that thing that you were romanticizing in your mind all along and planning, especially women, I want my wedding day to be like this, and it has to be perfection, and you know, the flowers, them have to look right, and them have to come down the aisle the right way, and them have to say the right thing, and I want him walking like this, and then me, I gonna do this, and I want this person to give me away, and this, that, and the other. I want these, my bridesmaid dresses to look like this, and then mine is gonna look like this, and they put a lot of stuff on it. You know what I'm saying? I've been dreaming about this since I was a little girl, and especially if the budget is there to do it, they go all in. But you have to remember, saying that fairy tale something there, even if you could make it a reality, it's an event that only lasts for one day. Marriage, now, that's going to last for a lifetime, or it's supposed to. So if the decision is driven by, say, loneliness, or pressure, or comparison. All my friends are married, so I need to be married too. Lord, me, I get left behind. My cousin, them, the whole of we grew up together, everybody married up except for me. Them kind of something there. You may wake up one day feeling deeply unfulfilled in a marriage. Not because the marriage failed. The marriage not failed. Your partner is doing everything partner is supposed to do. But because the foundation was never solid in the first place. Marriage should be about compatibility. It should be about true love and commitment based on knowing a person is right for you. Like, if you can tell yourself, say, this is my person. This is my person. Me no business. What else I want? This is my person. If that's not how you're going into it, then you should have never went into it. You know what I mean? I don't care if the sky is falling down on earth. This is my person. Me not gonna know it. But good. This is my person. If you're not wholly committed like that, you should have never went into it. Because now you're feeling very unfulfilled. Because there's a part of you that is creeping up that's saying, this ain't my person. The person not do nothing, you know? The person not do everything the person's supposed to do. But here you are, because you went in more in love with the idea of getting married than you were in love with the actual person. I tell people like this all the time. Well, we used to hear them say at Jamaica when they used to say, a man must love a woman who love a woman will love you kind of like way more than you love her. No, me never understand that. Because I'm like, love is love, right? Love a woman and love a woman back that love you. Or say marry a woman that love you way more than you love her. But as I got older, I realized that men see love differently than how women see love. You know? So all those acts of service and all these other kind of things now, the nurturing and these kind of something that them have to do with the woman. And if she's giving you those things all throughout, she don't withhold because you raise your voice today, you can't get no pum-pum later. Or because you try to correct her and something she lock off for a whole week, she not talk to you in the same house. Them kind of something there. Yeah. Now you're stuck with that for the rest of your life if you marry that. Is that something you're going to be able to live with? The answer is probably no. So yeah, look for that person that fits all those other things, and you're like, she might not look like what you thought your bride is supposed to look like for the man them. You know, she might not have that little waist and that perfect hips and that round body and everything is stiff up and look good and nice, and she might not look like that. You know, she might look like something where you not really did desire. That's why you have to get to love the person. Because when you love the person, you're going to look past all that. Especially men. Men get married for trophies first. Most men. Well, you know, our idea of trophies are different. And also, I think I can say genuinely across the board that a man's definition of love is just respect. If he's respected, then he feels like he's loved by that woman. If a man is disrespected in any way by a woman, he feel like she don't love me. She don't love me. That's how men see it. Whereas women see love differently. You know what I'm saying? It's how you take care of her. It's what you can provide for her. It's your remembering stuff that she wants you to remember, kind of thing. God forbid you have a frigged up memory, then you become a bad spouse because you can't remember these things when you want you to remember. It's inconsiderate. You're inconsiderate, kind of thing. I don't know. But love is complicated in definition for women, to me, as a man. But for men, I think it's basic. It's like, respect me. That's all I want is respect from you. When you fully respect a man as a woman, I think that man will jump over the moon for you if he can. God knows that he's respected there, right? Being newly married, going on 2 years, says one man. And I've learned that there was a language barrier. Live on the air with SouFLo, good morning.
Hey, Flo, good morning.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I'm calling about the marriage thing.
About wait, you calling about what?
The marriage.
Yes, that's where we're at.
All right. So my story is, I have the worst. I have the biggest regrets.
You had the biggest.
Of getting married.
What happened?
I am separated now.
Wait, how long did it last?
All right. So we're married for 4 years. Been together for 6. Okay. So from day one, this man has been a liar, a loser.
But you were together for 6 and only married for 4. So when did you realize all this?
All right, so it was always long distance, right?
See, give me the whole context, because as soon as you said that, I'm like, a big chunk is missing.
Yes, so it was long distance for like a year and something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, one morning I was home in the early part of it, right? And so I got up and I called his phone. He didn't answer. A few minutes later, his phone rang me back. So I'm like, hey, babe. He's not answering, but I heard this loud music playing in his background. I said, Dave, no answer. So I heard him talking to a mechanic about his vehicle, and the mechanic is telling him what he needs to get. A few minutes later, he drove off and he started talking to a female.
His phone pocket dialed you?
Yes. Same music playing in the background and everything.
Yeah.
So I heard him say, hey, why didn't you call me? And she said, me not tell you, me not have no phone. And he said, so why didn't you use your auntie's phone? She said, me not tell you, me not touch them same thing. He said to her, said, all right, let me gonna kill you. What you did fuck me for?
What?
No. I am on the phone. I'm still saying, hey, babe. So he told her, all right, find out how much it's going to cost for a phone and let me know. Because apparently he's going to call America to say that he needs a new phone, and I am going to be stupid and send him the money.
Wow.
When he realized that I was on the phone, it was almost 1 hour into everything that started on the phone.
So yeah, all heap of evidence.
Yes. So now, when he realized, he hung up the phone. So I called back about 2 minutes later. He's like, hey, babe. I said, hey. He said, I said, what's going on? He said, nothing much. I said, were you on a phone call just now where you were talking to a mechanic about your vehicle and the music was playing loud? He said, yes. I said, but then a few minutes you were talking to a woman, and a girl rather, and you were talking to her about phone and this. He said, no, babe, I think the wires got crossed.
He tried.
So I said, okay. At that time, we weren't married yet. We weren't married yet.
So those are the big red flags that were waving.
They were slapping me.
See, I'm waiting for that.
I'm thinking also that, okay, once this man comes here, we're going to be good.
Exclusive and good. And
fast forward, he came to America. We got married. He went back to Jamaica for 7 months. He said, oh, okay, he has something down there that he needs to take care of. He's going to go sell his vehicle. My dad came, spoke to him, don't leave, take care of this, do that, and then you can go do what you have to do. He said, no, he has to go. Because apparently he left his woman down there, right?
wow.
He called me on video, and when he called me, I said to him, where is your ring? He said, oh, it was tight, so he took it off. For 7 months, this man is in Jamaica, he took off the ring. As soon as he's coming back home, the ring stays. Okay? So he came back, and he's here. I caught him in so many lies, so many cheating acts and everything. And every time he comes back, he asks for forgiveness. He's not going to do this again. One more chance. And I kept doing it. About 6 weeks ago, I was at work. And while I'm sitting down at work, I'm driving. I work for the post office, right? So I'm on the road delivering my mail and it's time for my lunch. When I look, I saw his vehicle parked over into a parking lot. We live in a total different city. So I said, is that my husband's car? I turned back and I went. When I looked, it was him on the phone with this woman all up in her face. He didn't even see the mail truck come in. So when I drove up to him and he saw me, he's like, oh, babe, I'm going to call you back. I said, don't hang the phone up. This man hangs the phone up. So I said, who was on the phone? Oh, we don't have to go through this again, whatever. So he gave me the phone. He called the girl on video. The girl comes on. And I said, what is it that you want with my husband? She didn't answer. I said, what is it that you want with my husband? This guy is going to tell the girl, just tell her we have nothing going on, we're just friends. I slapped the shit out of him. I slapped the daylight out of him.
Well, he told her in front of you, just tell her we don't have nothing going on now, we're just friends.
Yes.
Cloud.
So anyways, I handed the phone and the girl decides to be nasty. She's like, blood clot bitch, I don't have nothing going on with your man. He's like, no, I'm not gonna let you disrespect him. I said, listen, this is it. So one day, about 3 weeks later, I'm at work again, and I called you about the guy with the thumper dick.
That was you.
Yeah.
All right.
So now, I came home and I said to him, because he's still begging for chances, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting old. I don't want to keep changing partners or anything. I'm going to try to give my marriage all the chances I can, right?
Yeah.
So I came home and I said to him, hey, listen, I want you to listen to SouFLo at about from 5 minutes in or whatever the time was and listen to this conversation. So we lay down there listening. His phone rang. I heard him say, oh, I can't stand these scammers. So I said, I didn't say nothing. He got up, he picked up the phone, and he put the phone on speaker. It was indeed a scam call. So now he hangs up the phone, and as soon as he hangs the phone up, his phone rang again. After the phone rang through, I heard this dude say, yo. So the girl's voice said something to him, and he said, yo, again. Don't you know that yo is to say, I'm home with my wife, I can't talk, whatever. So they hang up.
I'm going to throw him signal.
Yeah. So I said to him, who was that? He said, oh, it was Mikey. I said, Mikey sounds like a girl? He said, yes, I can see the phone. Oh, babe, we don't have to keep doing this. I said, yes, I'm going to keep doing this. You want to prove that you're changing? I want to see it. When I look, the call says Chevelle F. Right? So he calls back this girl, and this girl is going to tell me, oh, do not leave your husband because anybody you pick up out there, they're going to cheat on you the same way, and blah, blah, blah. They're giving me this whole. I said, who the hell are you? Who are you to be telling me about my relationship? So now the table's turned. I said, you know what? I don't want you. And I pick the phone up and I call somebody. And because of that, he moves out.
Wait, when you pick the phone up and call the next man?
I pick the phone up and call the next guy.
Oh, boy.
And he moves out.
So one time you pick the phone up and call somebody is enough for him to move out. But all the times you catch him.
I'm going to call Shakala to record something with me and this dude.
His head would explode.
I sure.
You know, we can't take it, you know. I've come to realize that we're very good at giving it, but we can't take it. That's not what a man wants to see. Why? Especially if you're going with yourself.
Yeah. And you know, when you think about it, the way how they do it live, everybody when pick up now, God have mercy upon them.
So have you decided that this is the end, or you
This is the I already got the guy to draw up the divorce papers and everything.
people say you're a cheater too? How she
A phone call is not being a cheater.
That's cheater. You know, women do them something that sometimes like, well, me don't know about that because there's a psych behind that. But some women will do that, like they'll grab a guy friend or whatever and try to make it look like, say, she have something going over there, so to make you jealous.
No, FIFA, that's not called cheating. That's called getting back at.
Let me say you have man pan back up. Why?
Yeah, that's called getting back at.
One dude and back up.
Yeah. So, you know, I have stories for days.
Yeah.
But every time you do some segments, I will call and
But at least you know what you did wrong, right? You ignored the red flags.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
You saw potential.
Completely.
Yeah. I
was into the happy phase. And I'm like, okay, as soon as he gets here, everything is gonna change. It got worse.
Yeah. I saw. Why? I wish you all the best part of the journey that come out of that here, because he's definitely not going to change. All right. Make sure you know. All right. Big up yourself here.
Thank you.
All right. What a piece of story. But that's exactly what this is saying about ignoring the red flags. You hear what she said when it happened first? You know, the universe, or God, if you will, then give her a whole hour of conversation with the phone pocket dial you. and you ignored all the stuff you heard. Charlotte says, "Matey, I'll turn counselor." Yeah, see, women don't understand this, right? That side chick will be very comfortable in her position, knowing that you are a married man. I don't know too many men that will be that way. Them would dig it out, cause you know you're giving front and whatever else you're giving. But I never met a man who was in love with another man's wife to the point, and he's sharing her, and she a go back home to him, and them a keep it on the low. How men operate is like we will go to each other. For the man them when I can't forgive me, because I go tell some of the stuff. See? I give them some of the sauce. That's because there's a lot of our sisters here. So I try to help them out. So for men, we will go among each other. All when we tell us that this is between me and you, man, I'm not telling nobody. Nobody not gonna know. Just give me like a piece of just me and you. You best believe that my brethren them know. Everybody know, especially if you have a man, it's a bragging point that for me, yo dog, you know, I hope my wife did have the other day, yo, put on some blood not girl politics. That boy they not do nothing to her, brother, because like you're kind of nice, them she make me have her under pressure. You know, man talk and brag and these kind of things. His friends know, they all know. That the whole of them know, and them know how to act like they don't know either. You know what I'm saying? But he will never want to be your main man because you already demonstrated to him, say, yeah, fling it out on the side. So me not take you from somebody who you fling it out on the side pan to come make you my main chick. You fling it out, give me good, me will take it. On the other hand, women seem to flex differently. Women are like, man, you got a good man. I want him for myself. You know? Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning. Man code violation. We can't hear you, family. Your phone is something is up with your phone.
Can you hear me now?
Barely. And I got you on speaker, and I got my speakers turned all the way up, and I can't hear you. Okay, you sound a little decent now. You always call in and sound very low at first, and then go normal.
I don't know what happened. Good morning, everyone.
You don't have it on speaker, right?
No, I just took it off.
Okay. All right. Well,
So, did you hear of the apostle story in Jamaica?
no. The one that says nobody should watch FIFA World Cup?
The one that said the apostle was counseling the marriage and she ended up with a husband.
Yes, we covered
it.
You haven't been with us in a while.
You did?
Because we just covered it yesterday or the day before yesterday. If you look at all my videos, you will see them on it. You can go watch that one there because I actually used their whole picture. They weren't trying to hide it either.
That was taught into marriage. Like when people have issues, you know, you gotta be careful, reach out to for counseling. Because that is kind of common.
Yeah, your phone is something wrong with your phone, caller. We can't hear you. Your phone is breaking up badly. All right. What she was trying to say, I think, is that the same apostles stuff story we covered earlier during the week. She was trying to say when you're going through your relationship issues, marriage counseling or whatever, you have to be careful who you go to for counseling and mediation and all these things. Sometimes those people are predators too. It's kind of like a child predator who knows how to get into a home where there are children and they go in pretending that they like the mom. You actually have people in that field who that is their specialty too. They screw other people's partners. So they just sit and wait for troubled couples to come to them. And then from there, they have an angle in. You're not being listened to. Oh my God. He needs to be treating you way better than this. Hold her up on a one-away corner, you know, and tell her that she deserves so much better. Can you imagine that? And then you are show up to counseling thinking you're supposed to be fixing our marriage or helping us fix our marriage. And this man over there, have your woman on the side whispering all these sweet nothings in her ears. and you know how the rest goes. Yeah, these things happen, but that the two pastors in Jamaica is who she was talking about. They started out with the female pastor being the mediator / counselor, marriage counselor for the other pastor and his wife. And then the pastor woman end up with the pastor man. And the wife is now out the picture. That's the one where the wife said on social media, I think she was on TikTok preaching or something like that, because she preached on TikTok, and the wife come on her live and said, Obia, you use and take my man. And she responded and said, no, I'm a hold me use and take your man. And people were like, oh my God, apostle, that's not very apostle of you. That's not a godly woman's response. Are you hold your use and take the man? So she actually did a video of an apology to what she said. And I had saved it to my phone as well. She came out and apologized for speaking that way. She actually said, hey, you know, it's I'm only human, and I gave a response of the flesh when I was attacked and these kind of things. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
On SouFLo, I'm trying to call upon WhatsApp and not work.
I don't know, brother, what today date. It should be working. Everybody else calling.
Call about 3 times, and I must give up. I remember from my house, like the phone service was so good, isn't it? T-Mobile.
Okay. Yeah, but everybody else are calling and not complaining. So what go on?
Yeah. Realized a lot of married couples, them afraid to end their marriage because of the fear of people might say. So tie themselves in a marriage.
That they're unhappy in.
Huh?
They find themselves in a marriage, they're unhappy in, and they're only staying because they're scared of what the people are going to say.
Especially them family.
Them family.
Yeah, because they are this beautiful family people see and respect. But truly, when they go home, they're miserable. But they don't have to tell them brother and sister and say, you know, so I say I should have a break up, do a fight for divorce, because I'm embarrassed.
I'm miserable in a relationship there. I want to left it.
Yes, but they're afraid to leave it because you know nobody knows they never work or they could hold on a marriage. You know what I mean? Yeah, them things happen too.
Sometimes it's just the embarrassment of failure as well, you know. Not necessarily. I know what you are said to, and it's true. Especially if them come from. It's because some people come from families where that's a big deal for them for a marriage to fail. And then there are others who come from families where nobody in the family not married. Or if they are married, I know nothing to walk out at it. So them not afraid, right? So yeah. But sometimes it's just about failure too. It's another failure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's another failure.
Yeah, and some people why some man hurt them woman, you know. They want to keep up a facade, and the woman want to leave, and they want to trust some businessman or some corporate man. You know what I mean? Like some lawyer and stuff. They end up them partner because they want to keep this unit and he want to load of body now. But they want to keep his unit but to get any correct so what is this and that. But when it's fall apart and just file the divorce like big.
You want Brock say, yeah, wife.
Yes. Remember your wife? You
want Brock say, yeah, wife, but I'm being hell in your house.
Yes.
What?
It's like a marriage. It's like a name brand. It's like a sports car. You know, man, I don't know, Ferrari. You know?
Me have wife too.
Yeah.
Yo,
man, tell her, yo. My mother, everybody can testify about me. But I said people never married. Because the woman them like my mother like this again and my sister like that. I tell myself.
That's why you tell yourself.
Yes, I think so. I tell myself. A joke thing that. You know what I mean? Because I look for what happened. You know, but until we realize, yo, my wife a keeper, he said married. So somebody got planned to marry. And I want to say, I dream and a half. You can't make married by the dream number. I just live. And when I'm and you make a dream, you're going to meet somebody and you're going to try to fix them up the everywhere. Say, yes, it's the one. And we were married a long time.
Yeah.
Then, run down the thing. It was something natural. It's like friends. It's when you meet the realest friend, my friend, I never know, so that you never turn friend.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? If you look into it good.
Well,
You understand what I'm saying?
me hear what you say still.
Yeah, things just come up natural number. You know, you have to plan for certain things. You have to plan for career path and stuff. But you never plan for your relationship like, yo, nah, it's come natural, isn't it? Hollywood, when people looking at Hollywood, I fake a scene, but they celebrate them, watch videos and celebrate them and deal with them before they deal with them. So when they meet, it's like I want people to plan already.
See it.
Isn't it? You have to get to know people, man, and marriage is a serious thing, because people not peace of mind, marriage is always perfect to them. Isn't it? Because right now, I want to go up on the road and make money, because I love money, but my wife said to say a family there and what I have to do. And
So that
I'm going to lose a couple of bucks, isn't it? I have to go home and spend all the family time. So
Yeah.
if people understand that marriage one thing is like let's say now, you just all you again. You can't do anything you want to do again.
yeah, cause you have somebody for answer to know.
Yes,
Yeah, and somebody who you have to be concerned about all the time now.
yes, so some
Yeah.
people go on a marriage and be single. You understand work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. You can't be selfish. If you're gonna be selfish from now, not gonna work. Because the person get tired of you, I get tired of the person. You know what I mean? Making my wife all the things what she wants, but she have to give me all the things what me want, but if my time comes. You know what I'm saying?
See, reciprocation, brother. And that it name reciprocation. Yeah. Anybody now reciprocate always end up lose what them have, because it's only a matter of time before a next person feel like say the thing one-sided. You know?
I talk something with you, you talk say people always say opposite attract are the best. You know, not something.
No, so bro. Opposite might attract because opposite might attract because you're fun for the attraction. Right? You know, like how you quiet and you might be an inside person and you're gonna meet a girl now and she's nice looking at everything and she's an outside person and you can say, yo, you know, we're gonna do some adventurous stuff with that girl. That for the moment, yeah. But anyhow, you turn that in a relationship. Remember, you know, once she become your woman, she not change, you know, because she's an outside person. So she gonna be like, me I don't know, lock up in a house kind of person. So nobody come lock me up in a house. And you met me as an outside person. So now, you know, attract no more. You know, attract no more.
When I tell her lifestyle, more from New York, they say,
Yeah.
So she grew up rough. Not really poor, but grew up around where we are. It was school. That's tough. You can't stop. You know what I'm saying? One time we meet, she get angry. That the woman want to put hand on me, you know. That first thing.
When you first meet her?
Yes.
Yo, bro, I can tell you something. I can tell you something. You just say your wife are from New York. No disrespect to your wife still, but that's something I always say. See? I always say the girl them from New York, it's very hard to find one that is not damaged in some way.
Yeah, that's tough, yo.
Yeah, because for one, them have to be really tough. And then that's why, especially, which part of New York should they come from? Tell it.
Yeah,
Dr. Brooklyn. Okay, so check it. Let me just start then. So I always is a joke thing, but I always say, especially like Brooklyn girls I feel like really, you see how me I do my hand them when me I talk is like them have to be like really combative because they have to be able to be like, yo, get off me. Like don't touch me, don't be touching me like that. You know what I'm saying? They have to always get ready to defend themselves. No kidding you. When me I live in New York, you see, I'm gonna pardon my language because I'm gonna get a little bit dirty. But when me I live in New York, a girl will live on top floor.
Yeah.
She's so good by the time she reach bottom floor to exit the building where she living in. Because every floor where she have to pass to go down from top floor and no elevator no in there. I saw man in the hallway, a boy in the hallway, a drawer this away. She have to say, yo, I will fuck, yo, get the fuck up. And she have to have a little ratchet and she have to go on away, you know what I mean? That's how I. So every time,
give me some story, man.
Yeah, so every time we see it, like, me I say, yo, I see why the New York girls are like that, especially the Brooklyn girls, because the man them treacherous from them a youth, and the girl them treacherous, like the girl them have to defend themselves from them a girl picnic.
Yeah, and tell the truth, my wife can fight, you know.
Yeah.
When my mom can fight, she come for the teeth and man.
Wait, you try to top out your teeth now already?
No, but what they do it, but my niece saw me because a woman, I want to look a prank before they were a prank thing. We do a prank thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him one day, I'm going to trick her, but just how you know, but change your name and stuff. WhatsApp and call me and stuff. Yes, go ahead. It's my smile, it's like it's a no vex now. But I'm pretty fun of a big official, and she don't have turn up. Long before practice popular.
I think she think you did a cheat and she piss you off.
No, she can't fight. No, she can't fight. Then she put her 2 fists in front of her and set herself.
She got that Brooklyn stance, son. That's that. What's up? What's up? See them, yeah? Yo.
And she can go from 0 to 1 million.
Yeah.
And I mean, but you see her, you can't know. When people tell myself, say, she has a personality, they say, what? Okay, you see that's what you got her. That's if women can different herself.
Yeah.
And listen up. If me wasn't a leader, but I'd be a leader with she. Because see now, it's anything that she got.
Yeah.
And anything can happen, I mean, put her in that job like a confusion, confused.
Yeah.
Oh God, man. You have a mouth pan her sometimes. I have to say, hey, man, you're talking to me. So, marriage, not perfect, comrade.
And that me not tell me no people done.
Hey, with that serious look,
Yeah.
calm down and remember ourselves. But sometimes, when we go as a man, I'm get loose sometimes and I focus. I'm going to look at things up, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm the family that you're coming to lead. So if you want to lead, why should you train to lead? Now, I can lead, there's no choice.
She make you a leader.
Yeah, no, yo, no mistake. If you pick up the baby saying, but better than later. But that's sit down and the thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you hold you accountable, man.
Yeah, I can't. I can't no slide.
Yeah.
There's no slide to me, man.
She not play with it.
Yes, more people know say, not become a car that I have my wife piece at our peach, maybe going to a peaceful home every day and make perfect husband.
Yeah.
I mean, me not cheat on my wife. I'm my wife. My wife, my married years ago, and she alone, the sex, and so that's seriously because I'm telling her, if me, I have to go suppose I took aside the marriage, we don't need she. Honestly. If everybody was gonna need she. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Lulu said she don't have no book of rules when it comes to love and marriage. She will continuously wing it because the old people wrote those rules that have nothing to do with real life. Now, I want to ask Lulu if she's still winging it and how is winging it going.
No, she you
don't be in a nursing home winging it. Talking about I'm going down to room 217, Mr. Harold down there. Have y'all seen him? Have y'all seen the new guy? So they roll their wheelchair go down the hallway when new man come in at the nursing home. You know what I'm saying? They be like, I'm going, where you going, Miss Palmer? I'm going down to room 217, about to go play cards with Mr. Harper. What you doing in Mr. Harper's room? We just playing cards. You waiting it still.
And so flow.
Yeah.
Your fees are out to the cheat now, like go to other woman. We said that's natural. Okay.
If it's natural and okay.
Yeah, I like things happen. My man got cheated. You live in them things like I don't know if you're not gonna say now, but
no, bro. Listen. So I am a polygamist at heart. I don't believe someone can have one wife. Yeah. But I don't believe you must have a bag of girl neither. Yeah. You notice me say bag of girl, right?
Yeah.
So if you can't have 2, 3 decent women as wives who all know each other and who all understand the plan and are working with the plan, then it better you just go on with one. And and then when you're there with your one, sometimes you have one who come in like 3. So you're good there to talk, you know?
So how she feel about you saying you believe in polygamy? How she or Shakira feel when I said that's how you believe?
Me no business what she feel. Me I talk my truth. That's how me believe in her. She didn't know that from she meet me, so that's how me did believe in her. I was upfront about it, but
Shakira, you know, meet a nice girl, come make a family.
no, sir, no, cause I know some polygamy go.
How you go?
Western people turn polygamy in a threesome and freak off show and nastiness. You know, sir, polygamy, real polygamy is about preservation of a certain gene. Real polygamy is about nation building. So in America now, if you're gonna talk about polygamy to them women, you hear them. Yeah, I'm down for it as long as you got enough money to pay all of us bills and put us all in separate houses. You know what I'm saying? You see, in the East, polygamy is different because the woman them actually become something. Like you will have a wife that is a teacher, then you will have another wife that is a scientist, and you will have another wife. Well, I don't know she working at a grocery store, but she have work, right? Yeah. And everybody pool their resources together and surround the children, because it's about the children mainly. It's about them too, but it's about the children mainly, nation building. So the two different concepts, you know. Over here is like, oh, you got 3 wives. That means all 4 of y'all be naked in the bed at the same time. Over there, it's different. It's this one I must see this time, and then next time I go be with that one, and next time I go be with that one. And it's all an understanding. Give a break to the one who don't want to see you. You know, sir, when you're married, you see, you know, sir, sometimes your wife don't want to see you.
Yeah.
Sometimes she don't want to see you, you know.
Yeah.
But out of our Western teachings and our selfishness, she don't want to keep you in the house, even though she don't want to see you. She want to see you which part she can know, see this or you're there. Go over there, so go in our next room. Me tired of you, me don't want to see you. Why can't I just go to my other wife's house then? Why me can't just go to my other wife's house? You don't want to see me. All right, we break free completely. You have your time to yourself. You do what you want to do, and then we come back home when I'm ready. But no, they're not going to have that. So it's the totally different perception of what it's supposed to be versus what it is over on that side. This is no secret. If you all go back to the beginning of the channel, the videos are still up there. That I was a polygamist, or I have polygamous beliefs. Put it that way. Yeah. But me no want no bag of loose man, bro.
Yeah. All right. So suppose you that ever happened with Shakira and another, but then one other woman in your life, and not the one significant, and you're okay with that?
No.
Honestly.
No, because Shakira is not that kind of woman.
No problem.
She's not the kind of woman.
The dream not gonna become fulfilled.
But that is not my dream. That is me having an ideology that's how in a perfect world it should be. Just like how my beliefs say, you know, I would like to live in a world where nobody molests children, nobody kills, nobody does nothing. But then me know say that is just a dream, or that is just me thinking of a utopia. You know, it's not gonna really happen.
Honestly, he said that I'm not exploit woman now. Because why woman can't treat husband?
You're not exploiting a see, and again, that your Western mind attack. So woman is not being exploited in these situations. You talk to these women, that's exactly where they want to be. And a lot of them will tell you, I need a break sometimes. A lot of them will tell you, I need a break sometimes. I don't trust anybody around kids. We have 3 kids together. It's nice when I can take the 3 kids and give them to my wife, because she also has children for him. So the kids are with their siblings and their other mom, because she treat them like fear one body bring them, and it's all the family and the family circle. And I could be alone for a couple of days. He's gone to one of other wife them. The children are gone for a couple of days. I have freedom to just be me for a couple of days, breathe, right? So it's about community. It's about community, bro.
You can anytime I subtract a wife, anytime you want to.
You're not add and subtract nobody. You're committed the whole way. There's no adding and subtracting of anybody. Everybody is treated with respect. and there is no taking advantage of, because you're not dealing with anybody who didn't want to be a part of this. You come into this as an adult with a full understanding of what this is going to be. You know what I think people need to do? People need to normalize leaving people alone so them can live them life the way how them see fit to live for them life. Because everybody wants people to live them life according to how they think life should be lived. But me believe in people living them life, how them want to live them life. So when me see a man with 3 wives, me just say, that way, you know, it's permitted in a film world. 3 wives, especially when the 3 of them know each other, that's a good thing. I have a saying. If you have 3 women, and I tell people, say you have 3 wives, and none of them don't know of each other, and if they do find out of each other, your world mash up, you don't have 3 wives, you're cheating and hoping not to get caught. There's a big difference.
A mess. That is a mess.
That is a mess.
Because look, so there are 3 wives, right?
Yeah.
But from the man to 3 of them, from one of them a piece on the side and come back here and ruin the world for hours.
All right. So that okay. So just like Elisa earlier, right? You said something there we got address about. Me hear is about oh, me know so she not gonna get peace on the side and all these other things. That's why you do this stuff with women who are locked into this. Them no Western minded thinking about Eastern philosophy or Eastern practice. They're not thinking he would Stacy tonight and now want some, so I'm gonna find somebody and fling. That wasn't how you came into it. Oh, hold on. What I was gonna say to you, because you said you're not facing a 3 wife, a woman should not be able to face 3 husbands. I want you to really think about this, right? What would be the benefit of a woman being sexed by 3 different men? What would be the benefit of that? See, if she have a man, right? If she have a man, if she's a wife, comes to a circle where she's supporting, she still has a husband, right? She has children with 1 man as all right, and also has somebody because he's playing a husband role with her, so she is always taken care of, so to speak. See? Now, if she have 3 man want picnic, she have 3 different set of picnic by 3 different man. 1 want 3, 1 want 2 picnic, 1 want 4 picnic. What she have, 10 picnic on 3 different man? And then how is that going to look and how is that going to work out exactly? And then also talk about hygiene and talking about like she gonna be sleeping with 3 different men are busting her and them kind of sitting there. 3 different men are flip her 3 different kind of way. That might sound attractive to somebody, but that is not for a woman who values herself and is thinking like on up level. So there's no win-win in that kind of situation for a woman.
Yeah. Boy, so let's say that the Bible is a made-up book then. So I'm also white man draft up and as well.
Then I will reach over this.
No, because Bible talk about polygamy, nothing wrong with that, because the mama must come from the Bible.
No, because the conversation on Bible always go deep. Because now we have to talk about which Bible you have. Now we have to talk about the original books of the Bible versus for your Western Bible where you have. Now we have to talk about all that, because we can't discuss the Bible me and not discuss the original Bible. We have to discuss all of the books of the Bible and all these things. So we don't want to go over this.
Okay. You just find that social the best way. People sleep all the morning when we see, but it will work for me. It will work for me, because I look at the man must work same way, because if my wife wants sometimes she needs to spend some time with her sister, I want to say to myself, bomba, she look good here, man.
It wouldn't work for you if you have 3 wives.
It would work for it could, yeah. I mean, the lustful aspect of it went bombard, the mash on and later mash on the next speaker. Then you have a thriller, a lustful thing to it, yes. There are more than a sex up, but it would bring me peace. I think that bring me peace.
And that's why it wouldn't be for you. And it's that simple. You know in your mind what is good for you and what is not good. You have to know what you can handle and what you can't handle. Some man love to take up things what them can't handle, and then there are those who can handle those situations perfectly. You know what I'm saying? It's like a man say a big body and him only work with 3 inches, but which part you are go with that? Because that big body there you have to have inches, figure under that, figure find that other something. You know what I'm saying? You have to know what your fight and your struggle is. You have to know what you can manage. You just said that enough for you.
But so far, if my wife did tell me that she's not polygamy, in the beginning, I would trust her. Because if I have if that's your dream, or what I say?
Yes, if your wife said that?
Yeah, in the beginning, I would trust her. I don't want to open a thing like me. You want my mom, I'm not the most.
Of course.
You don't want to say you are polygamy and no, son, that's good. You know what I mean?
That most women, well, yeah. If that's another thing. Your woman would have never said that to you because you came to her like you would want her alone. So she now gonna come to you and talk about, I want you and other men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we're so far, remember, I'm going for right now.
All right,
marriage. About marriage right now. So we was market and she want Messi to feed the dog. See?
You want she to beard the dog.
Yes, I want to go on the road for my money. I have a chance for whole grand. You get the man says, so marriage because the house was for me. No, I'm still a God. But you must tell me.
Because that is an event that is important to her, right? So she want you beard the dog with her and these kind of things.
I just say 11 o'clock and 11, 12 now, so a little more.
Hey, my brother, go on. Don't make me hold you up later. All right. Yo, Maverick said she put in her order from this morning. She said she want you and me to beard the dog at 11 o'clock. Him said right today, 11, 12 now, so I'm gone. Yo, wait there. Mr. Brown said I have a lady at work who told me yesterday that she come from a situation with 4 wives, having 27 children under the same roof with 1 husband. Yeah, them things that can work. It can work. A lot of people are just selfish, that's all. They're like, well, if you have that many, well, I can't have that many. That's just selfishness. Can you handle that many? You know what I mean? Can you handle that many? You just want that many because somebody else have that many. You feel you should be entitled to that many too. It's kind of like you see some people without some big sprawling house and stuff, right? And you tell yourself, say, Lord God not bless me yet. One time you're going to get my big house like that. Some big rotted sprawling house. I'm telling you something, right? The first light bill will come for one of them big house there. You want to run out of the big house because the light bill alone are going to mad you. The land tax for that big house there alone are your entire 1 year salary. What else? The maintenance of that big house there. When roof need to change, because you know, so you have to change a roof like every 8-10 years, right? When time your roof need to change or construction fixing need to go on another big old property there. There's the window them sky high like in a Vibes Cartel mansion. One time I see the window, because I'm a high ceiling person, but my ceiling them good enough for which part me there, right? I can't reach them, I don't feel like me are ducking at my house. Me good. Me not ready for the one when him have. Because one time them stand up in there, right? I'll me see a window gone up a heaven. I may say to myself, say, you're going to have to pay a team of people to harness themselves and swing down the side of the house, or they have to go have commercial material to drive them to come at your house, come launch way up there. So you ever seen them construction ladder there? We got 24 feet in the air and 30 feet in the air, and them the people alone can clean for your window them. You think you want all that stuff because you see other people want all that stuff. But you must understand that you can't maintain them other stuff, that therefore they shouldn't be for you. Some man can have 2 and 3 wives because him can do all of the above. You will not have 2 and 3 wives because you good with 1. That's how it go. That's just how it go. Play in your lane. Stay where it's safe. Over here for you. You know what I mean? Some man laying wide up. That's just life. But nobody stay over there. And for the women them too, nobody stay over there and talk about why he could have 3 wives. That means I should have 3 husbands too. Well, if you want 3 stallion bend you up to blouse and skirt on a regular basis and you feel like you can handle that every day, plus be productive with other things in life and get somewhere, unless you just want on one dolly, then it's not for you. It's not for you. If you feel like your womb can handle 3 and you can breed whenever 3 want to, and you can satisfy 3 man and have 3 set of picnic and all these other things, then you go have your 3 husband too. But it now gonna work out good for you. Therefore, it shouldn't be for you. Nothing beneficial in it for you. Kind of like what going on in Jamaica right now with Andrew them getting ready to take in these foreign people. Say them are coming as deported, but they're just passing through. Nothing beneficial in it for you. See, nothing beneficial in this for you. All you hear are echo. Audrey is saying all you are hearing an echo. I would only want 1 man, but I wouldn't mind if he had more. Wait, you don't only want 1 man, but you wouldn't mind if he had more what? More wives than just me. You see? That's some woman. And I've heard many women say this over the years. Like, honestly, when the first thing get to them, I used to think that I would never say that, but we've been together for a while. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if he had another wife. Honestly, he could leave me for a couple of days. He could go do something else. But you know, them said that until it actually happened. And then when it happened, Ross, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. Me used to be in a relationship one time, right? And this woman decided, now me I get personal. This woman decides she locked a shop. Me not get nothing. I say, all right. I'm trying to be good. Because I know somebody will distribute myself all over the place, right? So I'm trying to keep a home base, trying to be good. Whole heap of time gone by now. Me all now can't get nothing, can't see nothing. So one day I get back and I say, you know what? I'm going to get a nice haircut and thing and put on some decent clothes and, you know, fix up right and say, out the road me I go, you know. And I tell you right now, say me I go, look, girl. Such person looked at me and said, okay, if that's what you want to do, just don't bring me nothing back. I thought, wow, okay. So, So I went out the road and it wasn't hard. You know, I was going to say this earlier or yesterday when we had talked about something else, but for some reason, it's never hard, you know, when you're like 6'5" and 2 something. I've never had a problem. You know what I mean? I never had a problem. It's actually quite easy. You never have to do much. But you know, when you want to keep it at home, but you're being forced out. So me go a road. And when me go a road, me come back and tell, because I don't want no drama. So me say, hey, you know, I went out. I got. Okay, as long as you don't give me nothing. I said, oh, wow. So now I find myself in a open relationship then. Here what? This is not when me sign up for something gone. And based on that, I ended that relationship based on that. The woman I look at you and tell her, say, me I lock shop and you don't get none. So, and you tell her, say, well, me I go to the road. And she said, okay, go, just make sure you don't bring me nothing. Cool. It was all good until it came to the end. You see, when it came to the end, all hell broke loose. I was being honest the whole time. Where were you? You tell me if you go. I'm just going to bring you back nothing. I tell you, say, okay, I'm going. I went. I did. I came back. I told you I did. You still say, okay, as long as you didn't bring me back, nothing, it's all good. Or me I bring you back sitting when we not do nothing. And then when you find out now, I was actually doing sitting out there. Jerome Pearson says, Flo, what kind of roof that need to change every 8 to 10 years? I'm a straw house. Shingles come with 30-year warranty. Shingles don't come with no 30-year warranty. Shingles come with about 10 years warranty, bro. And after that, it will start, especially if it's in a place where it got through certain kind of weathers, you're going to start get some leaking and all these other kind of things. And you're going to start off your patch your roof. If you're not patch your roof, you just tear off the whole of that and put on one whole new roof. Just like we did with this house here that we're in right now. So we get a brand new roof, and me I count the years them, because at the 10-year mark, me I look for see which part watermark there or how the damages go and these kind of things. House have to maintain. If house don't maintain, them fall apart. People want big house where them can't even clean. Put me in a big house. I hear a sister say that all the time. You know what I'm saying? I want a man that can afford a big, nice man. Put me in a big house. She can't even keep one 2-bedroom apartment clean. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Oh, I'm so.
My dad, I know, brother. What happened?
Well, I'm there. Based on the conversation you were having, when we did liquor, I did have a girlfriend, and she told me, said, Jared, if you go there, you know, you must wear condom. Me said, nobody can tell me what shot in my heart, no feel like. And she tell me that, so.
You heard?
The man.
Because you feel like she do her thing already.
Yeah. She tell me the Sunday morning, I when my mother call me and tell me, say, you know, dinner the pan table flow, me not have no appetite.
John, no. Because she tell you that you feel like, say, okay, you do your thing. That's why you send me go out there.
You understand me, so I must protect myself. Like, no man not supposed to give you that, you know. Yeah, when you're in a relationship, it should be, yes.
Yeah. You're supposed to hear go weird. Joke can't make. You know what I mean? Man feel like say, me mean something to you. And you know, play about me. But if you ever tell me about, okay, whatever. Just don't bring me nothing back. Okay, well, yeah, road me there.
No, a woman not supposed to tell a man that them live with such thing either. That's the weirdest thing you can tell a man. Like, a man expect the wife to say, go weird. You know what? Come and make you a liquor. You know, go upstairs or something. But not tell you to go and just not bring me back anything.
Yeah. That kind of says it all.
So when you do that, no guilt when you go back home?
I go back and tell upon myself, you know, I'm an honest person. I'm an honest person.
When you tell her, say, boy, not going, you know.
No, I feel like I'm too big for cheat, or I'm too big for hide nothing from nobody. Nobody can hold me and beat me unless they want to fight me. So I feel like me no want tiptoe in my life, and I don't want nobody have that kind of control over me to where if me feel like as a big man no want to do something, I have to go tiptoe and go do it and then go try hide it from somebody. No, if I go out there and I do something, I tell you something, I go out there and go do something. If she want to take it as that, if she want to take it as that, then or she needs to do something, then hey, jump on it and do something. But if not, then
I've seen your reason before. You can be a good journalist, also a good interviewer. I make a lady say, me just call the next man. Yo, so, back to the
how long have you been holding on to that number? Because the next man that just drop out of the sky, he was on reserve.
Long time.
Yeah, long time. Yeah. I should have pulled that card then, not true? Boy, I heard that feeling.
You should have get yourself free.
Them say, boy, you know, I didn't want to go too deep with that one because she was already expressing. But them say a woman always have at least 1 pound reserve, so.
I think by now most of these callers see how we roast each other. Oh, we beat you and you beat me. So when them call in and we talk, I don't think they should walk away feeling offended. Because that's how we roll over here as family. We joke with each other, we tease Audrey or Mr. Bramram or Lulu, and tomorrow
we're good again.
We meet each other again. We're good again.
Good again. Yeah, not that personal.
No, it's not. But some people, they're very thin-skinned. Like all of them melanin burn out.
Well, we have to go teach them.
All right, big up yourself. Happy weekend. Bless up
Thank
everybody
you,
in the
bro.
chat. All right, my boss.
All right, there's some funny comments over here. If you're honest with each other, people can deal with it, but if you're lying, then that's the problem. Yeah, that part. If you, the lies. If you're a grown person, I don't think you should lie to anybody, man. Just say what it is. If them can't handle it, them can't handle it. If they can't, they can't. You know? But nobody with the bag of lie and make up stuff. Just say what it is. So we have to deal with. That's why life look complicated, because you have people trying to convince other people there's something they're not, and trying to do things that behind people back and all these other things. All you do is bring more problems. Remember the saying that says, oh, what tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Yeah, once you start trying that deception, something there, just know, say you're building a room full of cobwebs that you're going to have to be the one there sweeping it out. Might as well go ahead and tell the truth from the beginning. Who can handle it, and who can't. Somebody said, SouFLo, so you mean to tell me, say, if you go out there and you have like your side chick get pregnant. First of all, I don't have no side chick. But for the conversations, you're telling me, say, you wouldn't hide it. No, I wouldn't. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, family. What's going on?
Not running up and down from the bathroom today.
You know, you have some time.
I sit down and I fold my laundry and I laugh and I do my thing.
Mr. Brown.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, go on.
Yeah, so I was telling you about this lady at work that told me yesterday. We had a conversation, but she's in the relationship right now.
She in a relationship right now.
She had a woman and herself, so 4 women, 27 children, and they
the one husband.
Yep.
I saw. They work. Those are sister wives.
I know one of the happiest women working, you know.
Because she don't have no stress and she have a team.
She don't have no stress.
She has a team.
Yeah, man, and she tell me how it work too. I don't know, bundle of nothing. Everybody have them there. Everybody have them. Yes.
And it's probably not even like rudimentally, like, you know, it's like it's not hard lined organized to the point where Monday and Tuesday is for her, Wednesday and Thursday is for you, Friday and Saturday is for you. It's probably not even like that. It's probably like
they have it like that.
Well,
and the others know when not to call who.
Well, that makes it even better then,
then have them thing.
That's hard line though.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
but that allows others to be able to plan too.
Yeah, man. When I'm trying to serious Tuesday, everybody knows say, okay, I'm not that no bad. Tomorrow, listen, no. I could not deal with that one.
It works. It works for who wants it to work for them.
That's what I realized. But we couldn't manage it.
You couldn't do it.
I want my own 3-inch.
Yeah. What? I don't know. Somebody will come with it.
My big butt, so we want my own 3-inch.
And this something will come with it, and the person will come with it. No, you probably are going to get tired of him sometime. I want a break for yourself too.
No, I'm not tired.
No.
Me and him are rose.
Some days you don't want to see him.
Me and him are pink Charlie.
Oh, so see it there. Then, all right, so find out something there now. What's the man have a problem with that something?
That's another man. So.
Because you love that something more than a man?
Not really. It does not work for me. So I just decided to just call it a day.
Okay. I thought you were going to say you just love that thing more than
No, I would never say that. You can't replace a man. It's not the same thing. You know, you want the arm to cuddle up after. No, it's not the same thing.
So it can do things what we can do, and then we can do things that it can't do.
Yeah. Just stop again. Yeah, it can. I don't know. Jerome, don't come to me, please. So
Jerome!
like how
come here.
People they are here for their wife to talk me can't talk them. Not true.
Not true.
Like when that way help me wife to talk me can't chat it. Not true. You see how fluent today? Not a stammer.
Not a stammer.
Me I tell you, and I when don't talk you stammer.
All right.
Me I tell you. enjoy today. I'm gonna hold it up. All right.
Big up yourself,
Great
see?
day, you all.
All right, you too.
Bye bye.
All right, so yeah, I kind of woman who like the space I really can't do. So you're one of them woman then. You're the finest. You like your space. I'm the kind of woman who like my space, and I really can't do the everyday thing. All right, as long as you're fair and balance and know say that is that, and don't call it down by yourself or you can't handle. You know. 2Iris says, bless up yourself, Jerome. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Them. This is our weekend. All right. So this Father's Day, I don't know. I have to come forward and say a few words and hold our vibes. I don't know. I will see how that goes. All right. But she loved the rose. You know what? No man in her life she loved the rose. She missed the hugs and the kisses, but she loved the rose. She missed a big tough leg, cuddle her up and wrap up around her, but she loved the rose. So the rose can do things that we cannot do, and we can do things the rose cannot do, but for now she chose the rose. The rose is winning. Rose up by 10. Yo, Nan said, before I forget, happy Father's Day to all the fathers in here. Nans is saying happy Father's Day to all the fathers them in here. No deadbeat, all the real father them. Because, you know, when it's Mother's Day, I say the same thing. If you're a deadbeat mom, then it's not your day. You have a child doesn't mean that you are that to be celebrated. Right? Same thing for your daddy them. The one them when I do them thing, and have a little picnic them out here wandering and suffering. It's not your day. You're not to be celebrated. Start putting in the work. So when we say Happy Father's Day, you can be celebrated too. And you can feel proud, say you belong in this fold too. You have to earn this. You have to earn this. So big up to all the fathers them in here, the real daddy them, the one them will stand on business, the one them where you youth them know you, and you youth them know say you are that guy. Big up to you. Understand? Pat on your shoulder, my friend. Pat yourself on your shoulder. We all know how that go. It's not easy, especially when you're the one that's standing in the gap. Make life easy for everybody else. Stuff, enough time you go crying at the show about stuff or you don't cry at all. Right? About stuff that will break others down. So big up to you for that. This is your weekend. I hope you get everything what you desire this weekend. I hope at least you have a woman that and some children will actually really appreciate you. The one that want me feel bad for are the ones that go really unappreciated, you know? Because nothing break a man's spirit more than when he does a lot and he is unappreciated. That's all a man needs sometimes. That's another way of showing love. When no say he loved. Something of appreciation. That's it. Some appreciation and some respect. And that's that. And watch the man they go over the moon. So big up to them. Real ones. Real ones only. Real ones only. Yes, it is. Happy Father's Day to all the real fathers. Big up on yourself, says Audrey. All right. Nancy 100%. And Bunches says, big up yourself to Nance. Who is that again? Rosalie. Rosalie Pierce says, good morning, everyone, and blessings. You're the finest. You're the finest. I can't do no rose. Can't do no rose. Me just look for one of them something there. I may try to figure out how it works. Because I wanted to know like what the fascination was, you know. Only don't see a regular store start carry sex toys. Big and brawling. Big and brawling. Regular stores like all Walmart has a whole sex section now. Back in the day, Walmart and these kind of stores wouldn't carry these things. These were novelty items that you had to go to a certain store to get, or you had to order them online. You know, Fredericks of Hollywood and these kind of things like that. Now you walk through Walmart and you know the dildo on shelf. You're like, what? Vibrator on shelf. Like in Walmart. So you could really pick up everything in one place now. Even a partner. Yeah. Well, I'll just say, yes, there are some who don't get the appreciation they deserve. Yeah, man. Some don't get the appreciation them deserve, you know, and they still carry on same way, making sure that the family is good and everybody is taken care of same way. But that's all right. That's all right. Because that's how it go. As a man, you have to can't too emotional, you know, because your road is rough. Your road is different. Nan say it's $1 billion industry, and they're getting in on the money. They're getting in on the money. Here, yeah. Rosalie Pierce says, I thought the rose was a flower. Ooh, I thought rose was a flower. I am new to this. Here you talk it now. Maverick said, Maverick, I don't remember what it feel like not being a father. You're a certified gelding. Please stay off the road. Gelding truck will get you. Maverick and a gelding. Maverick married and having picnic. What you talk about, Jerome? He's married and have his child and his wife. Yeah, Walmart turning a one-stop shop now. You know, get you some rice and something for dinner, piece of meat out of the meat department, and get the milk and the eggs and whatever else, and the fruits and the vegetables, and then pick up an outfit over in the clothing section, and then go to the pharmacy, go pick up your medication, and then go over in the sex part, go pick up your parts then for later. That's crazy. We're living in crazy time. Banshee says, SouFLo, scoping out the competition. Yeah, me I look for one, right? And it looks weird. It looked like something with a pinch. So I don't know how it works. I mean, I have no parts to put it on to see how it works. So I was just looking at it to see, but hey, I've heard them go on and on about it, my friend. And it was supposed to replace us. And we're still here and not replaced. So that means it just did it. Right? Anyway, remember, whatever relationship you're getting in, make sure you're getting in it for the right reasons. The last one on the list, remember, so we already talked about these four, right? You're married because you saw potential instead of reality. That was one of the big mistakes. We were talking about 5 reasons, and I can tell you where I found this article. It's actually in the Jamaica Observer. It's talking about 5 reasons why you will more than likely have regrets about marrying your partner. And the first one was because you're married for potential instead of reality. And the second one was because you ignored all the red flags because you just wanted it to work so badly. And the third one was because you were more in love with the idea of marriage than you actually were with the person that you were going to get with, married to or be with. And then the next one was you did not truly know yourself before you chose this person. You never truly didn't know yourself before you choose that person. I see a man the other day, see, come tell him wife, say, after years of marriage that he's actually gay. He's a famous singer. One white dude with long hair, but him come tell him wife now, say, he's actually a gay man and he's been trying to fight this since he was a teenager. Man, you know. Him and his wife married about 15 years now, you know. And them have children and all these things. So you did not truly know yourself before choosing this person. That could be one of the reasons. See, there's a deeper truth in all of those, right? Some people marry before they are emotionally, mentally, and financially matured or ready. And when you do that, you have not fully discovered your true identity. You have not healed your wounds, or you have not even gotten to the point where you understand your own needs and your own self yet. Then you may choose a partner from a place of confusion rather than from a clear understanding of why you are choosing this partner. But then there's this thing. You cannot make a wise, lifelong decision from an unclear sense of self. At 18 years old, someone may propose and you run. This person said, I ran. I was like a runaway bride because I knew I had not experienced life yet. I knew I had not traveled, didn't even want to travel. I knew that just wasn't for me that early. Plus, you're not mentally mature yet. Many people regret stem from the realization that I chose this person before I actually even got to know myself. Has nothing to do with the person, what them I do. It's you again. Growth changes perspectives. And sometimes when you begin to regret, it's because the person you chose no longer aligns with the person that you've become. Pretty interesting. And the last one is confusion. You confuse love with compatibility. But before we go to the last one, if you're married, you're supposed to get married for all the changes. There is no such thing as, oh, I got married, but then the person who I married no longer suits or align because I've become somebody else. Nobody is the same throughout their whole life. And when people run go get married, them have to remember, say the person you're marrying today is not going to be that alike. You say you get married for, you're not planning for divorce. So the person you're marrying today is not going to be that same person 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Some remnants of them might still be there, but as they grow, especially if you don't start out from young, it doesn't matter where you're starting out from, because you could get married at 45 and you could be blessed with a long life and live till you're 90 and have 45 years of marriage, right? Nobody is the same. Years go by, experiences happen, perception changes, the way you see things, some things are going to change. You no longer want to be this, no longer want to do that, no longer indulge in this and that. But your person is supposed to grow, or you supposed to still love that person through all their growth and changes, unless them just become somebody completely destructive and unloving and unlovable. Then you have to make an exit. The last one it says on here, right, is because you confuse love with compatibility. Love is powerful, yes, but in particularity, it is not enough to sustain a long-lasting relationship or a marriage for that matter. Love. See, you can love someone deeply and still be fundamentally mismatched in values, in communication styles, in emotional maturity, or in life's direction, period. So you can love till you can't love no more. But if you can't communicate effectively, always have a clash and have problems, emotional maturity not there, and you're seeing two different directions in life, not gonna work. So yeah, love is not going to be enough. There has to be compatibility. So compatibility is necessary because it shows up in how you resolve conflicts. It shows up in how you handle pressure. It shows up in how you communicate, and it shows up in how you actually grow together. Love without compatibility and a shared vision, that often leads to frustration, because affection cannot fix misalignment. You can love the person and still not like that person's attitude. You can love the person and still not like that person's approach to things, or their outlook on life, their communication style, their inability to get to solve a problem with you. If this article is speaking to you, or if this message that we're sending today, or this conversation is speaking to you, then it was meant to be for you. All right? Run with it and take from it what you learned today and apply it to your situation now. If you're one of them people that were you're free, wild, and all over the place, then this wasn't for you. But if you're somebody who was seeking to have an insight or just say, never thought of it that way, maybe you learned something from this today. Go and go apply it to yours and try to have something long-lasting and meaningful. All right? And Audrey, because now make me and you fall out. What you mean substitute? Substitute is for who have someone. My Pink Charlie is my person. Pink Charlie. Woo. Why you never get to a black one? Or them not come in a black? A little bit of sad news here that we're going to roll right into and out of. So, where it said, Nan says, who said that? Lulu. Lulu says love is a fallacy. I don't think love is a fallacy, no, Lulu. I just think that love is just not enough. It's just not enough. There has to be alignment. There has to be compatibility. Love not enough. And the article is actually right, because where there is love and no alignment, it only breeds frustration, which leads to silent resentment and all these other things. Silent resentment is like one of the biggest killers of any relationship. Because you're there, you brew and a stew and you hold it down until you get to the point where you just hate this last person because I love you so much, but we can't fix shit together. And eventually it's like, man, F this. You know, the frustration, the constant state of frustration. Eventually you just give up. Yeah, so love is important and love is very real. But there has to be alignment. Yeah. Now, we're going to move on from that. Where say you put respect over love, the yoga instructor that they found lifeless in St. Anne. I don't know about that yoga instructor that was found lifeless in St. Anne. I will have to look that story up. But I do know about an accident that happened in Canada that came the life of 2 Jamaican farm workers that are over there on assignment. You're the fan that says, I agree, and I put respect over love. You know, when we think about that, I think love is in respect. Yeah. If you're talking about in an intimate setting or intimacy or in a relationship like that now, a monogamous relationship, love is in the respect. You respect the person, you love the person, so you respect the person. You respect the person, so you're going to be loving towards the person because of the respect you have for the person. You know what I mean? So yeah, love is there. When somebody loves you, they will talk to you with love, right? When somebody respects you, they will talk to you with love. If you're with a partner and your partner respects you, you will know because they will show you love. They will talk to you with love. They will always seek to work out problems that you have so they can get back to love again. Because you know a relationship go, you have things that go good there, so, and then boom, problem here. And somebody who love you get past this problem so they can get back to loving. So they're going to deal with you with love to get through the problem that, hey, make we fix this quick between the two of us so we can get back to the loving, because this don't feel good. You know what I mean? That's when somebody loves you. Now, when somebody don't love you, they're going to show you no respect. And you know how no respect goes. It's a long list of ways that you can be disrespected. We don't need to go through them. We all know what they are, right? My take on things. Running through this story quickly, switching gears. There are 2 Jamaican farm workers who died in Canada in a crash. The death of these 2 workers, they're saying it's a painful reminder of sacrifices that many Jamaicans make to provide for their families. And today, 2 families lost loved ones. Hi, Mummy. I'm live on the air. You cook gungo pea soup? No, I didn't check my phone yet. And Malani said was asking to come see you from yesterday. Okay, you're gonna be home? Okay, I'm finishing up some stuff now. All right, see you soon. All right, Mom. Love you. Bye-bye. All right. I'm mother. Somebody did have to answer. All right. So yeah, the story come out of Canada, and you know, they're saying that it kind of phrases like what people have to go through. These workers have to go through when the risks they take just to provide for their families and stuff. The Minister of Labor and Social Security, Pernell Charles Jr., is expressing profound sadness at the loss of these men. This conversation, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I used to look at farm work like slavery because it actually is a government entity of one country selling their people to another country, a more prominent country, for cheap labor, right? And these government entities collect a fee that goes to their pockets off of the individuals that they send to these other countries. So all in all, there's a whole heap of sacrifice that goes into it. But what I can say is I've always had a big respect for people who do farm work. You know, I think I told you all before about this one man who come from my community, you know, and he would go away to, I believe it was Canada, he would go to as well. And every year when he go away, come back, his family was taken care of, by the way. Every year when he go away and he come back, his like in house just get more beautiful and bigger. And now he's probably an old man, because from I was a youth, like I'm 7, 8 years old age group. But I always admired that and I always saw it. To a point where me used to think one time, say, I probably go upon farm work too, you know. Because me used to like how his house was yellow. That was the color of the house. One big yellow house, big old 2-story yellow house in a Clarendon there. And he was able to do all of that and take care of his children and his wife and everything out of farm work. Because as I got older, I realized the things that he was going away to do. We never know, say, a study work did still. Mr. Bell and Mr. Lindsay dedicated many of years of their life to serve through the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program, helping to support their family and contributing to agricultural sectors of both Jamaica and Canada. The ministry mourns the loss of Mr. Bell and Mr. Lindsay, extend heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of these two men. He had participated in the Seasonal Agricultural Program since 2013. He's a veteran of this, while Lindsay has been a participant of this since 2007. Two veteran farm workers. Both men arrived in Canada for the current season on March 18th of 2026. And dead already. The full details of the accident has not been disclosed, but it says that full details of the collision were not known at press time. However, according to information that was provided by the employers of these men, they said that the men may have been traveling on what is called a Kubota tractor when it was struck by another motor vehicle, and the incident occurred in the Simcoe region. According to the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, there are unconfirmed reports that the occupant of the other vehicle involved in this fatal collision may have also died. Now, this morning, people, as I was looking up the story, because I wanted to find more on the story, a whole heap of Jamaican dead farm work. I was surprised because as I found the story, I was like, okay, this is the story about these two. And as I'm reading it and looking at the date it was posted, I'm like, okay, this was from 2022. So I know them that There was one where 5 of them was involved. There was another one where it was 3, another one where it was 2. I mean, I said, farm work must be very dangerous. So big up to the people them who put their family to bed and go off into the world, you know, looking for a better way. And this is how they have to go get it. You know, it's just sad that that's what some people have to do, though. Cause not easy work. It's not easy work. If you out there in the cold, pick wherever them a pick until you can't feel your finger on your toe them. If you out there in the sun, bend over whole day till you can't stand up straight when you're done work. And this is what you have to do for that entire season until you go back to your yard, go get some rest. And then the conditions in which they live are not usually like any luxury or even regular living conditions. I had a cousin one time that was on one of these farms, and I went to go see him, and I saw where they were living and stuff. And I tell you, sir, it's a sacrifice, man. It's a sacrifice. But you know, them say, oh, I'm good, you know, it's a fair run. And sometimes you have to make sacrifices. And that's just a part of it. We're not born with gold spoon in our mouth. You don't see any rich people, children doing these kind of things. That's how it goes. The cookie crumbles when you're poor people picnic, my friend. I send my condolences out to the family of those 2 men. We are aware of the situation. And it's the way that I don't know if they're going to have any compensation, though. I'm hoping that there is some kind of a life insurance policy that is automatic and it automatically pays out once something like this happens. Because that's the main breadwinner for him family, you know, and they earn decent. So that gone now. That's gone now. Sad story. Sad story. Y'all be careful out there. The next story that we're going to talk about, well, is I want to get to the AI threatening the jobs, but I'm not going to stay too long on the AI threatening the jobs. As a matter of fact, I'm going to skip it. All I'm going to say is this. Word of advice. The world is changing. The world is changing, especially for those of you who this is going to affect. The world is changing. So, what's going to happen? Because there's a news article out of Jamaica here that says AI threatens 60,000 jobs. You can find it in the Jamaica Observer. If you're interested in the details, you can go and read the entire thing for yourself. I'm passing over it because I want to get to our final topic of the morning, which bears a bit more interest. There's only 2 things you can do here. There's a solution. There's a solution, especially for younger people. The solution is to get some AI certification under your belt or to seek a field where AI has very little to no impact. Just go Google and look up jobs that will not be affected by AI. Tell the truth, most of them are like service jobs or trades. You know, a plumber, electrician, barber, beautician, nursing, them kind of thing that AI will not be affecting those. Insurance nuns, I don't know. I don't know about insurance because insurance is mostly about like shuffling papers and comparing who sell where and who have what and putting that together. I think they're going to come up with, you see how GPT work? I think they're going to come up with that's one that can be affected. Case management, social work, claims per se, they're probably just going to put the claims into the damn machine and it reload where it reload. Unless you're somebody who have to go out into the field and go assess a situation, then them can't send AI out there to go do the footwork. Yeah, but I think that could be affected by it. But stuff like barbering, any one of the service fields, there's probably not going to be an AI effect on it. So my advice is get you some AI training and certification, or find you a field where you will not be affected by AI. Look it up and shore up yourself. Or you will be one of the people who are crying that your job is laying people off and they're closing down and you have to go look work and you can't find none. So plan ahead, but just know that AI is taking over. It's crazy to see AI take over, because just not too long ago, a couple of years ago, AI was a thing we were talking about, saying that it's coming. Y'all remember? We did talk about AI, I said it's coming. And one day it's going to there and it's going to control things. Well, we're there. That quick. We literally did it that quick. Dental assistant. Yeah, dental assistant, that's service. That's service. But a dentist now, I don't know, I wouldn't trust a machine for going on my mouth and go do all this. But the machine malfunction and just start thump out the wall of your teeth them. It's a machine. It's a machine. I've heard Elon Musk say some of these high-end degrees and career fields, they're going to be mad as hell because their jobs are going too. And the first one he called was a surgeon, like a heart surgeon. I thought, wow, imagine going to school all those years, going through medical school, going through residency, going through all this, only to come out certified doctor, but is a machine do your work. You're going to have to go back to school now and be one of the doctors them that actually knows how to work the machine and the AI, or machine controlled by AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah, we said it was coming, and it's here. It's here, and it's only going to get more. It's only going to get worse if you want to look at it as worse. So the only two things you can do is you can either get you some AI certification, or you can find a field where a lot of grown people are not in the mood to change career fields at this point. They're hoping it doesn't hit before they retire. But for the younger people who still have a lot of years left in the workforce, you might want to start transitioning now. So you're not one of them that, oh, the company is downsizing and they're letting us go. I've been working here for 18 years. I don't know where I'm going to go. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. All right. All right. The main one we want to talk about this morning now is back to this topic again because it's trending. But let's start out first with the war on China that is going to be happening in Jamaica. The war on China that is going to be happening in Jamaica. Jamaica is getting ready to be the showdown ground. The showdown ground. Ground zero for combat. Now, we're not talking about guns and bullets combat. President Donald Trump has a nominee for the United States ambassador to Jamaica, and she has pledged to strengthen security cooperations with Kingston, Jamaica, to intensify efforts to combat lottery scamming and drug trafficking, and a main part of her agenda is to push back against China's growing influence in Jamaica if she indeed gets this diplomatic post. That is her list that she made of the things she will be coming in hot, focused on. Lotto scamming, drug trafficking in the island, as well as security, and pushing back hard on China's growing influence in Jamaica. Those are war words. Those are war words. If she says she's here to minimize China's influence in Jamaica, My next question is, how are you going to do that, ma'am? That's what I want to know. How you going to do that? In case y'all haven't seen, China is heavy in Jamaica. So, appearing before the United States Foreign Relations Committee on Thursday, Carrie Lake outlined that what she described as her 4 key priorities for her tenure, placing security cooperation and strategic competition with China at the forefront of her agenda. She's a former television journalist and current nominee to head the US Embassy in Kingston, Jamaica, at the request of Donald Trump. And she said that she will work closely with the Jamaican government to dismantle transnational criminal organizations, to disrupt narcotics trafficking networks, and to combat a lot of scamming operations that continue to target American citizens. In Jamaica, them there come for you know. I want to remember something. All my scammers, come this way, forward. Me tell you, a few years ago, I believe it was like 2 years ago or a year and change ago, where they had put out a memo where they came together with a plan. And a part of the plan, because in the video I did at the time, I read the plan out to you. You see, the part of the plan was say they will be confiscating, seizing all your assets in Jamaica. That part there is where I was like, okay, this is getting interesting. So I was watching their conversation about how they plan to seize all your assets, right? Because if you tell me, say, you're going to do it, I want to see how you're going to do it. Somebody said, well, you know, they're pretty wise because they're starting to put stuff in their grandmother's name and their mother's name and their other people's in their family's name. And they said, we know that. We know that, so let's go after their mothers. Go and look up on YouTube. Let's go after their mothers, or America plans to go after your mothers. Because I think that's the headline I gave the video, the topic I gave the video, the title. Them said, I'm going to go after your mother. They're going to go after your grand, and they're going to go after your grandparents and your other family members. So if your sister can't tell, and they're going to be working with the Jamaican government, this is a part of their plan. So if your sister, if them run up on your sister and your sister can't give a legal account how she earned this much money to have bought this luxury or built this, they're going to seize it. If your mother has been working at the high school canteen cooking food for the last 18 years, cannot explain to them how them luxury carrier reach at the yard and how the house gets so big and sprawling, they're confiscating it. They're seizing it. That's a part of their plan. So now this woman is coming in and she's making it a top part of her agenda, and she's letting you know that she's coming in hot. She's coming in hot. All right. Newly built house. Where is your proof of income? If you're suspected of being in scamming, you're going to have to show proof of income for the things you have around you. Yeah. Where you get the X6 and the X7 from? Where you get them new from? Where's your to us? Once you bring the record to us and we look through it and we say, yes, it's good, he's earning legitimately, we will release your back to you. Now, I'm not lying up. I'm not condoning scamming or anything, but me, myself, I was like, they're about to dig deep into Jamaica. They're about to dig deep into Jamaica. When them can come after you, when foreign entities can go into the country and go after your granny and your mother, not just you who they think of, family member, oh, shake it. But security partner, she said Jamaica is also a key security partner, noting that the island's role in regional anti-narcotics initiatives and broad law cooperation that we're working on. She said strengthening the tie between two countries will be among her priorities as well. That means a whole more people are going to be caught and extradited into the States of America to face those charges. She also delivered a point warning of China and China's economic footprint in the. And she said, for that matter, the wider Caribbean, they're there to fight China. Didn't we talk about this before? I cannot say that they answer China's influence throughout the Caribbean. You see how they positioned us in the Caribbean? It was only. I don't see how the warship them went through the other day. And you thought this was like a goodwill cruise. Just showing you what type of materials we have, or what type of equipment we have. You who tune in here almost every morning, we've had this discussion, and I are concerned about China's influence in the region. Talking about influence, because this is their backyard. You know what? To start become so pro-China that they are anti-American in America's backyard. So we knew this was. They have the right person to. Because before, everybody else was like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to seem like a bully. And I don't want that on my record. They have the right guy in there now. Him no business. Him said, now is the time. Now is the time to diminish China's economic footprint in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean, arguing that Beijing's investments in ports, in infrastructures, and in the critical sectors, these carry long-term strategic implications rather, for the United States. These are her words, not mine. Countering China's growing economic influence, less than 500 miles off our shores, that should be and would be one of my principal objectives. According to Lake, the Chinese Communist Party has made significant investments across the region that extend beyond economics and into matters of national security. So they must say, once them start talking about national security, what that mean? So again, when you see the warship them roll through, don't know what time it is. Exactly, people done. You see it? Don't know what time it is. She says, this is her words though. She said, in a region that is this close to the United States, those efforts are not just economic. They are being strategic, she said. She added that she would work to ensure that Jamaica continues to choose transparency and sovereignty and partnership with the United States of America, rather than depending on countries whose interests do not align with those of Washington. So in other words, we want Jamaica to depend on who we have to depend on. Listen, Our Minister of National Security, Dr. Harsh Chan, was giving a speech the other day. And somewhere in that speech, I heard him say, it is Jamaica's duty. Duty, you know. Him said that it is our duty to be concerned about United States of America's interests. Me left a comment because me say, sir, are you sure that duty is the word that you want to use? Because in the military, it is my duty to adhere to orders. So when you tell Jamaican people suddenly say it is their duty, I don't hear any American government entity telling the people them in America, American citizens, that it is their duty to be concerned about another nation's interest. You see what I say? Beyond security concerns, she pledged to advance American economic interests in Jamaica. She said to strengthen trade relations between the two countries as well. And she noted that bilateral trade in goods exceeded $3 billion in 2025 and highlighted Jamaica's importance as one of the United States' largest trading partners in the Caribbean. My question is Jamaica able to export into the United States of America as much in value goods? All right, they're going to import certain things. We're going to have $3 billion worth. Can we import into the US $3 billion worth of stuff that we have? Or we just take them things and pay for, which means we are buyers and not sellers? I'm concerned about how that dynamic of that relationship would work. So Americans account for more than 70% of visitors to the Jamaica, to the island, while thousands of Jamaicans work annually on American farms and in businesses across more than 5 of the states in the US. Not to mention the that lives here. So among the trade issues she had was Jamaica's long-standing restriction on US pork exports. Pork, hog, oink, pig meat. Among the trade issues she identified was Jamaica's long-standing restriction on US pork exports, which she said she would seek to address while encouraging greater American investments into the island of Jamaica. In other words, them want we take the pork and whole eat more right. She also underscored the importance of disaster preparedness and hurricane resilience, particularly as Jamaica enters into another hurricane season, following the severe storm Category 5 Melissa that just hit us recently. And she said that protecting the tens and thousands of Americans who are living in Jamaica, protecting the tens of thousands of Americans who are living in Jamaica and the roughly 2 million US citizens who visit annually, that would be her core responsibility at the embassy. Not protecting Jamaicans, not helping Jamaica to protect itself, but protecting the tens of thousands of Americans who are living in Jamaica and the roughly 2 million US citizens who visit Jamaica annually. That would be her core responsibility at the embassy. Now, seeking to underscore her personal connection to the island, she told senators that she has visited Jamaica numerous times over the past 35 years she honeymooned there in Jamaica with her husband, even, she said, yes, Jamaica has beautiful beaches, but it's the incredible Jamaican people whose warmth and resilience and their deep pride in their country that kept us coming back. If confirmed by the Senate, she would assume responsibility for managing one of Washington's most important diplomatic relationships in the English-speaking Caribbean at a time when security, cooperation, migration, trade, and geopolitical competition are increasingly shaping up engagement in the region. Her nomination comes more than a year after the departure of our former ambassador, which was N. Nick Perry, a Jamaican-born American politician who served as Washington's top diplomat in Kingston from 2022 to 2025, a short tenure, I might add. So Perry is out. Looks like she's going to be in because she was selected by Donald Trump. So she's definitely probably going to be in. Yeah. Let's see how this one shapes up to be. I'm just putting everybody on to game. But while we're at that, saying this, right? I could talk a little bit about how we're almost done. So I could talk a little bit now about the whole people coming into Jamaica now. Our Minister of National Security is not sure if the program started already. Then they're operating at a 94% rate of getting them out of the country, though some have decided to stay. But then we hear they are having a meeting, they haven't ironed out all the details yet. And then we hear that they are coming, but they're not staying, they're just passing through. And then we hear well, if them decide to stay, it is their right to do so. So they can file asylum and stay in the country. And then we also heard that the US is supposed to pay for all this financially. And then we hear well, if them decide to stay and we decide we don't want them stay, then we have to go foot the bill to send them go them yard, these kind of things. What prompted all this? They threw a woman under the bus yesterday. I forgot her name. She was mentioned in yesterday's video. Embassy released a letter, allegedly. The letter said that she was the one. It gave a date. It gave a time. It gave the name of the meeting, the convention that happened, and exactly how she proposed to the United States of America to be a part of this. So we said, don't blame Trump. It looked like we went looking for this. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. SouFLo.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Now, I'm not going to say much, but the cash register is running.
Cash register the cash register is running.
Well, so you remember the older prisoner in Jamaica? Anybody knew there's about $80,000.
Per.
So you get paid, Jamaica, $20,000 each. They pay me $60,000. Where that money going? And that's why they have to pay for them. They want to send them out to the country. They are responsible.
All right.
That's running. That's all. Okay.
Manas. You said the cash register is running. Okay, so this is the last part of what we're going to get into this morning, right? Now, we've been wondering what caused all this. Yesterday I said, don't blame Donald Trump, because we were under the impression that it was Donald Trump that put his knee on our necks and pretty much said, you're going to have to accept this or else. Well, according to this new development, threats to revoke visas of ordinary Jamaicans, not government officials, prompted the Jamaican government to sign off on this TCN deal. As far as it is understood, there was a threat of random Jamaican citizens having their non-immigrant visas revoked by US authorities, and this gave impetus to the decision by Andrew Holness's administration to agree to action a plan with its counterpart in Washington to accommodate so-called third country nationals who are seeking to transit to another country through Jamaica. This threat of wide-scale visa revocation was mooted by at least 2 US government officials. The Trump administration has had several months been lobbying the Andrew Holness administration to join at least 23 other countries across the globe under the third country national agreement. Sources close to the US government said that Washington said that they were not amused by what it perceived to be the tardiness of the Jamaican government in agreeing to such a deal. You hear the language? Not amused by what they perceive to be the tardiness of the Jamaican government in agreeing to the deal. Simply put, a long time we are asking you and I try to get on board with this. Everybody else done sign them paper already. So now you finally jump on board. Me not impressed. Because a long time we have say jump on board. Right? The tardiness. Those sources also say that when the US pulled the visa revocation card as a means of hastening up the steps of the Jamaican government, it's a matter our news center put squarely on Minister of National Security and Peace, Dr. Horace Chang, in a telephone call on Thursday afternoon. Dr. Chang downplayed this claim, saying that there was never any attempt by Washington to force the hand of the Andrew Holness administration. But it is said the move by the US in January this year is when it happened to include Jamaicans on the list of 75 nationalities for whom the processing of immigrant visas had been put on indefinite pause was a subtle but calculated move by Washington to pressure the Andrew Holness administration into signing up to the TCN deal. Remember, say visa just stopped process the other day. And Charlotte, I don't know, I think your niche is, well, you're an attorney, so your niche could be anything that has to do with law that we don't understand as laymen. But right now is a lot going on in the immigration sector, and a lot of people want some clarity. Y'all see Charlotte right there? Charlotte is in the chat. Her comment is right here in the chat. I put her on the screen. I took her off screen. So Charlotte is right there. She's in the chat. Go find Charlotte and subscribe to her channel, her platform. We have to keep repeating this because some people are new to the platform, don't know who Charlotte is. Charlotte is an attorney. She is a practicing attorney right now. And these things that we're discussing are right up her alley as her field of expertise, where she can properly inform, right? She started a YouTube channel. It's a good place to go hang out and hear and learn some stuff. She's right there on the screen. So our Minister of National Security is denying or downplaying that Washington came at them in that way. I think that's why they released the stuff yesterday saying it was a Jamaican politician who actually approached the US. So when you hear our Minister of National Security saying that we have to protect US interests, or it is our duty, that is also a part of it. Making sure that they are blame-free and making sure they look good throughout this whole process. No, man, it wasn't them. Leave the US alone. I know them. They've never pressure to do nothing. And we go look stuff from them. We were never pressured. This is something we want to do because they're friends of ours, they're allies. You know, that's the picture that needs to be painted anyways. One source said that it was a Jamaican government official who they declined to name had raised the possibility of this major work exchange program between Kingston and Washington to address labor shortage in some industries in Jamaica. That's another thing that they floated to the US. But the proposal was reportedly not endorsed by Dr. Chan. It's understood that the issue is different and distinct from the negotiations around the Memorandum of Understanding concerning third country nationals. Jamaica joins Belize, Costa Rica, Panama, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, Barbados, St. Lucia, Barbados, Guyana, Grenada, Paraguay as countries which have agreed to third country national agreement with the United States. I don't think Barbados is on there. We were discussing this yesterday. And somebody asked, is Barbados on it? And I said, they're not, they weren't on the list that I was reading off yesterday. So, did Barbados agree to third country deportation from the United States of America? No, Barbados did not agree. And it says no right here. And they have not agreed to accept third country deportees from the United States. So while the US has finalized similar third country immigration and deportation agreement with several other Caribbean nations, such as Antigua, Barbuda, Dominican Republic, and Jamaica, Barbadian officials have maintained that Washington has not formally approached them yet to discuss such an arrangement, and no such arrangements are in place with them. So there you have that. Hey, Mr. Brom said, Charlotte, I am not even sorry for me. It's the poor little babies coming up. They will all get the blunt of all these mismanagement. So sad. Where said maybe then Barbados, because that PM was not with the bull crap. Well, you know, she kind of made it clear. Yeah, Motley, that she's standing on what she's standing on. So I guess she seems pretty unapproachable to them. Therefore, they have not approached her yet. But you know, Jamaica was caught between a rock and a hard place. Like I keep saying, recently we got hit with that hurricane, Category 5. And if you notice, the United States of America was the one who gave us the most money, cash. They also control our tourism market because 70% of our returning visitors are from the United States of America. It's easy for them to funnel that market somewhere else. Think about it. So they could hit us really in many ways if they so choose to. So I guess it makes sense to play nice and to play game or play ball. Like I said before, I wouldn't want to be the prime minister now because I understand, I see more of what is at hand and what is being played and how they are playing. It's not even that the game is being played, it is how they are playing. So I'm going to leave that up to him to navigate those waters while we watch from the outside and keep on having these commentary and these discussions. All right? Listen up. It's the weekend. Friday is here. The weather is nice. It was 108 degrees out here yesterday with a heat index warning. So hot out the door. Want to be careful outside, please. Drink up whole heap of fluids. And go outside, go drop down. But go outside and have some fun. You know, enjoy life a little bit. Slow down a little bit. Walk away from the work for a second. Work they have to kill everybody and work will still be here after everybody is dead. We just talked about that yesterday. Now stroke out yourself on work. Take a little break. I'll definitely be heading to the beach this weekend. And I'll probably be vlogging there too. Enjoy your weekend. Surround yourself with people you love and with people who love you. And if you're not too sure, go be by yourself. It's okay. Maybe you need some time to get to know you and know what you like and all them kind of something. Self-love. If you don't have that, you can't love anybody else. You have to love yourself first to understand love fully and then be able to love. All right? So work on that if you don't have that. In the meantime, my granny Miss Ruby right here, so she said be good. If you can't be good, be careful, but it's best to be good. My grandfather, Master Levy, him say, I will see you tomorrow if God spare life. All right? Wanna walk good? Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you